Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. You'll need to sympathize with her. Disney will make sure you will. Suddenly she is oozing with goodwill. That's Cruella, the girl you should sympathize with. The girl who wants to skin little puppies. Wait, what?
Anyway,
wait a minute. This is the only reason why Jova chose this movie is so you can sing that.
Okay.
Joe has been anxious to show us this movie, so...
Well, in case you were living under a rock around the time, you may have known that when this movie finally, and I do mean finally, came out, it kind of became a bit of a meme. But yeah, trust me, you did not dream of this in a coma. Disney did in fact make a movie starring Cruella de Vil. And you know what? Movies starring villains could be fun here. So long as they don't want us to sympathize with a woman who clearly wants to make coats out of puppies. So let's talk about how you should sympathize with the woman who wants to make coats out of puppies because of her very tragic backstory and how the world sees her as a freak, a villain, a hazardous monster, and how she saw Jasper and Horace as the only family she had despite how horribly she treats them in the actual canon material.
I mean, she treats them bad here, to be fair, as well. So.
Well, yeah, but they're clearly going for the family angle. Look. Now, I will assure you this. This is not as infuriating as Maleficent, though. That said, it's much more frustrating than Maleficent, in the case where this movie actually comes close. It comes close to being a legit good movie. Unfortunately, as some of you may know, it has the things that clearly make it a bad movie. But let's not beat around the bush too much. Start at the custom black and white Disney logo, and we shall begin in 3, 2, 1, click. So, let me put it like this. You know how a lot of people hated Maleficent because we were led to believe that that was just going to be a villain perspective story, but ended up being a big piece about how Maleficent is the hero all along?
Yes. I mean, they pretty much went into like before the movie came out. It's like, oh, now you understand why she's evil. She has a pathetic backstory.
Except as the movie literally ends with it saying Maleficent was both a villain and a hero. Gag me.
Oh, okay.
So we start off with childbirth.
Well, we're all, wow, talk about origin story, right from her birth.
And as you can see, Cruella was born with black and white hair. The monster! She has black and white hair! No one will ever appreciate that! It's so unfortunate, as the British people say.
So we have Cruella de Vil played by Emma Stone.
Honestly, if me and Vanessa had a baby with that hair, we would probably try to put it on TV and, you know, showcase our like seriously, that's something that probably should be looked into.
It's perfectly down half too. Also, her name's Estella, not Cruella.
Well, remember, Joe, it wasn't.
To be fair, Cruella is kind of a silly name.
Yeah.
Well, my
like
guess
Scar, and that would be crazy if they gave him a convoluted reason to why his name is Scar, huh?
So
don't worry. Another time, Deji. Another time. Go on.
I sense the jaded nature in you, but anyway, Shiroi, Dwibs, tell me, does Britain just look down upon people who have black and white hair?
Not that I know of. In fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of people with unique hairstyles will probably be revered.
Okay, I know it's not Chloe Grace Moretz because, you know, she's already too old by this point, but she looks like Chloe Grace Moretz. She looks like a discount Chloe Grace Moretz.
I was going to say that Cruella's mother looks like Mrs. Weasley from the Harry Potter films. Oh, by the way, that's Anita.
Wait.
Who?
You mean the wife?
Yes. Yes.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have no issues. Well, actually, okay. Let me. How do I put this?
Most unorthodox.
How do I put this? Jova, remind me.
Yes.
In every single variation of this story, if I remember correctly, Anita has always been Caucasian, right?
Yes, but to be fair, I don't think the story's ever pointed out her race in particular, or at the very least, it's not like her character has been built into being Caucasian.
Sure. Well, it's not like she's important, I guess, so whatever.
Also, yes.
Also, her hair is cool. I don't know what people are talking about.
Wait, here's the thing. I was born with this. You know, there's a thing that you can just dye your hair. Right?
Not to mention,
wait. You were born with like the multicolored hair, Dej?
No, I'm just saying. No. I was quoting Cruella. I was born like this.
Not just that. Plenty of people, including even young people, dye their hair. So why is this such a big deal?
Because it's natural. She's a monster, and everyone looks down on her for it.
Oh no!
Okay, so here's.
It's sorry, society. You forgot to tell me why I should care.
So here's problem number one about the movie: the fact that apparently Cruella is vilified by the nation because she has black and white hair. Like,
seriously, that's the best you can come up with.
It's not always black and white.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this. We may have found a problem even more inconsequential than that of tall girls.
Yeah.
Congrats, movie. You actually made tall girls seem credible by comparison.
I mean,
it's still not credible, but
I mean, have you seen the grief redheads get? I mean, there is, unlike Tall Girl, there is actually some basis to being made fun of for someone's hair color.
I guess, except...
I guess I just...
That's it, sure.
But to make fun of someone for... It's stupid in general, don't get me wrong, but...
Okay, here's the point,
It's stupid to make fun of someone for their hair color, but it happens.
That said, though, Shuri, from what you and Dwip said, though, in England... supposedly somebody with hair like Cruella's would have been revered, though.
People try to dye their hair like this all the time.
So, yeah, okay. You wanted to make her... And that's the thing, Shuri, get this. In order to... Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of the movie, but you want to know the wig that she puts on to avoid being made fun of? It's a redhead wig. So, going off of this movie, redheads have it better than those with hair like hers.
Forget I said anything.
Well, Emma Stone is a redhead, so I can see why they wrote that in.
Oh, I get that, but what I mean is like, it kind of shoots it in the face, but...
I guess you can say it was an easy A.
Okay, I can only speak for myself here. I can only speak for myself here. Plenty of people, including even children at this point, dye their hair for whatever reason. By 2021 standards, this particular thing, it's just one of those cases where I guess
it's in the 60s.
This is in the 60s?
Okay. I don't know how common dyeing your hair was in the 60s.
Also,
whatever year. It's not modern day, that's the thing.
Also, guys, check out Irony 101. Cruella actually loves dogs as a child.
Of course. But then the dogs kill her mom. Or something.
Nah, that would be stupid. That would be stupid if they had that be the reason for everything. You're silly, Pedro. So anyway, though, her mother has to work for Dejimon. Okay, it may not be Devilman, but essentially who she works for is somebody whose last name is,
Deville.
You'll see.
There's only one reason someone would call their child Deville.
Oh, well...
They want that person to become a supervillain.
Actually, that's the thing. Cruella's hanging around a Panther Deville, which is the type of car she drives. Remember that for later.
Question.
Yes.
One question. How much of this is a girl boss movie?
A lot of it is.
And this doesn't feel like female Joker, right?
It does feel like female Joker a lot. That's the thing, Deds. Let me put it like this. This is Joker, mixed with some Harley Quinn, mixed with the Devil Wears Prada.
Apparently, Joe, some people made more comparison to between this movie and The Devil Wears Prada.
Mm-hmm.
I did mention The Devil Wears Prada as well.
What are you doing here?
Hey
We're
there.
supposed to be the kids franchise.
Mark Strong.
What the fuck are you doing here, Mark?
Well, did you see, Pedro? Merlin managed to piece himself together, go back in time, and become a henchman.
I guess.
Oh boy, this scene.
Okay, Joe, is this character gonna have some kind of big role?
You'll see.
I mean, he is in the movie a lot.
Evil Dalmatians!
I mean, are Dalmatians inherently that feral?
Oh, it's okay. The other is coming to save her, apparently. Epic slow-mo!
Actually, Dalmatians can be quite aggressive, more than people realize.
Okay, so that's one accuracy at least.
But why are they even going for her in general? Like, what did she...
I don't know.
You'll see.
Are they after, like, Buddy or something?
No. They're after Cruella. But why? That's a mystery. But now... Oh, here it comes. The scene.
God, that CGI is terrible.
Yeah. That didn't look good at all. What?
The dogs drop kicked her off a cliff!
That looks so silly.
There you go. Okay, so needless to say, that's problem number 2 of the movie. There you go, folks. Dalmatians killed Cruella's mother.
Okay, so...
You know one thing I've noticed about these kinds of movies, actually?
Oh.
In recent years, especially, when they tend to have an extremely controversial moment within the first, 10 minutes.
Okay. We need to dissect the scene for a bit. 1, the mother's facial expression is so blank during that moment. She doesn't react like somebody who's about to get pushed over a cliff. She looks like, or hell, being attacked by attack dogs. She looks like somebody who dropped a nickel. Secondly, it's not like the dogs tear her apart or anything. No. That dog literally just jumped up, did a flip, so it could kick her off the cliff.
Oh, this is Sparta.
What the fuck? What? Okay, not to mention that didn't make any sense because first they're chasing Cruella, and then all of a sudden they switch targets for no reason. What the fuck is even going on?
You see, Pedro?
Later, actually.
Yes, it is explained later, but for now, Cruella believes that she killed her mother because the Dalmatians were originally after her, and she thinks that because the Dalmatians smelled her scent on her mother, that they killed her mother. Again, though, I'll just say this: I have never seen a dog purposely dropkick somebody off a cliff. They usually go teeth first. What the hell?
This movie. That was phenomenally stupid.
And get this, Pedro, that was in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2 things. 1, sorry, but now the doggo's gotta die. Sorry. The doggo.
All right,
the doggos started this. Now they have to die. Sorry.
Well,
by the way, guys, we haven't.
She likes doggos too.
We haven't mentioned who made this movie, actually. It's directed by Australian-American director Craig Gillespie, whose previous work, among others, the more recent one he made was another Disney film called The Finest Hours, and I, Tonya, a film about the Tonya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan drama.
So here's the ironic thing, though. Cruella doesn't automatically blame the dogs. No, she blames herself and thinks that she got her mother killed. And this is how she meets Jasper and Horace.
But Cruella was just minding her own business, and suddenly these Dalmatians start attacking her for no reason.
Yes.
Okay. It's just okay. Assuming that Joven and I'll buy
also,
what Joven just said. Go on.
Look at the irony. Jasper and Horace were mean to her initially. Well, okay, it was more so Horace who was mean to her initially, but Jasper was the insightful, nice one.
Okay. assuming what Joe and Dweb said about the whole, it's going to be explained later what exactly what's up with those Dalmatians. Okay, fine. But at the same time, in that case, I'm going to have to go with yet another writing 101. Writing 101, filmmakers. When you do something this stupid, you better be prepared to give an explanation reasonably soon, because the audience is definitely not going to stick around you have to take into consideration the tolerance of the audience when writing your story, because by the time you get, I'm guessing by the time we get to the explanation, the movie's beyond saving.
Okay. That's the thing, Pedro. For a lot of people, the scene where Dalmatians kill her mother was where a lot of people gave up on the movie. Now, granted, the movie will fight hard to try and salvage itself, but then the actual explanation comes, and believe it or not, the actual explanation makes it even dumber.
Oh, I can imagine. But at the same time, it's just one of those cases where, because you start off your movie with a scene that makes literally no sense. Like, the entire reason this movie's even happening is because of a nonsensical event. The fact that you don't even bother to explain it until way later, you're basically asking to be panned.
Well, don't you see, it's part of the mystery and whatnot, even though
This is not how a true craftsman presents his story to an audience.
So, yeah. And yes, we get it, Crow. You blame yourself for your mother's death. You've mentioned that to the audience at least 5 times now at this point.
Don't get me wrong, that scene was hilarious for all the wrong reasons, but still. Hey, Shiroi.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, Shiroi, but now the doggo's gotta die.
Yeah, Dalmatians killed her mother and all that.
I'm sorry, Shiroi, but now they have to die.
Also,
Why are you apologizing to me? Yeah, they did kill a woman.
Oh.
Why do you hate dogs so?
I don't hate dogs.
Because Dalmatians killed my mom. Okay.
Oh. I get what Diz is doing. He's referencing that line from Trolls.
Wait. Please don't tell me these are the 2 thieves from the...
Yes! Pedro. She name dropped them as Jasper and Horace. Yeah, like I said, they're a family of sorts.
No, they're not. They're fucking mooks.
Well, don't you see? This is to help. You see, Pedro, this is to help Cruella come off as more sympathetic. Dyeing her hair.
Actually, guys, apparently this is a reboot.
Okay, let me get... so it's a reboot. Okay, fine. In that case, it's fine, I guess.
Okay.
At the same time, let me get this straight. You didn't think of dyeing your hair up until this point?
Okay,
So
well.
you're having trouble when we were making fun of your hair, and you didn't think to dye it up until now.
So, here's the problem, Dwibs. Reboot or not, when your character changes this drastically to the point where, Cruella is practically buddy-buddy with Jasper and Horace, it makes you wonder if maybe we're changing a little too much.
Also, Pedro, I'm not sure what it's like in Portugal, but around here, and, just to try to explain it, because the movie won't, our schools kind of are very strict about dyeing hair, aka don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. No, I understand.
Oh, look at that. Even her dog is trained in a professional, and the dog has an eye patch, for Christ's sake.
Oh, that's a different dog.
That's the boy's dog, I think.
You have to understand, Shira, sometimes I forget how... sometimes I forget some of these differences, considering I'm more used to...
No, that's fine. Again, I'm just trying to explain what the movie won't.
Sure. No. Okay. To the movie's credit, actually, you will get this fine if you're a native English speaker. It's just that, I come from a different culture, so obviously I'm not going to have the same preemptive knowledge.
To be fair, Shiroi does have a point that even sometimes Americans may not know some of the deeper heritage rules of England, especially given England in the 60s or whatnot.
Can't dye your hair now.
So, yeah, again, Cruella seems to be hitting it off pretty well with Jasper and Horace, which really goes against the relationship she has with Jasper and Horace. And yes, I get it, reboot and all, but
Talk about a movie that gets up, shoots both of its own legs, and then tries to crawl its way to the end.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, like, I think that's the best way to describe this movie. It is literally its own worst enemy. Because there are good moments in this movie, but at this point, you have Dalmatians killing Corella's mother in a silly fashion, and her being buddy-buddy with Jasper and Horace. That's like, well, it's like Pedro said. Talk about shooting yourself in the feet right at the starting gate.
Mm-hmm. That's the basic point. Remember, it's really hard for me considering like there's much more. I guess the only word I can use is that we've always been more chill. I guess that's the best way I can put it about this, Shiroi. Remember? Oh, remember, Shiroi, the
Oh, hey, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, if there is one thing I will say on a positive level, Emma Stone's British accent is okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, look. If anyone
Okay, in terms of, like, basically, what I do when it comes to, like, foreign actors doing a British accent, if I don't cringe, it's good.
Debs, I would love to show you Don Green's British accent.
Anyway. Okay, let me put it like this. If it were any other character that's not supposed to be, flipping cruel Ella Deville, I wouldn't mind this relationship. That said, Emma Stone is carrying the hell out of this movie, along with a certain other actress who will come up later.
Emma Stone is amazing, so yeah, but I'm guessing even she will not be able to save this.
They are making a sequel, a sequel/prequel.
Oh God.
Oh. Was this movie a success at the box office?
Remember, this was both a cinema and Disney Plus release.
Okay,
so I'm guessing that's
premiere access.
Okay.
Straight to Disney Plus then.
When it comes to the box office, it apparently did bad enough for Emma Stone to consider doing what Scarlett Johansson is doing right now, aka suing Disney over the goddamn Disney Plus release.
So about that, Emma Stone just recently signed a deal with Disney to make Cruella 2.
So
I'm guessing she opted out of that. Last I heard,
it's like, what? Disney offered me more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doing that kind of almost completely renders your lawsuit meaningless
and makes you look like a coward.
Yeah, like okay. You know what? I'll give Scarlett Johansson credit. She is stuck to her guns regarding this lawsuit. Emma, look, I love you, Emma, but why even bother bringing it up if you were gonna fold like a cheap suit that way?
I'm guessing she doesn't quite have the figurative balls that Scarlett has.
Because holy cow, Scarlett has been planning to take Disney to the cleaners. And look, and honestly, I can kind of get what Scarlett means, especially if she makes commission off of how much they make in the box office. Like, let's be honest, Disney were kind of kneecapping stuff with the Disney Plus stuff. And don't get me wrong.
I mean, someone could throw. I'm pretty sure Disney could easily throw the word pandemic out, and that could win them the case, probably.
Well, the thing is, like, look, it doesn't matter if she's being quote-unquote cowardly now. Disney broke a contract.
Well, I suppose Disney could argue that, we're in a pandemic, she won't going to make that much money anyway.
Oh, well, that's the thing, though. The problem is that
making money off Disney Plus, so they could. What was stopping them from giving
like
everyone the money? It's like what Warner Brothers did to all their partners when they put all their movies on HBO Max without them knowing. So it's like, oh wow, we're not. So I guess people are.
Christopher Nolan talked about that, how nobody at Warner Brothers was told about it. Yeah.
And like Shirai mentioned, it is a breach of contract made with the actor as well.
Yeah. Well, Shirai, I don't think you understood what we were trying to say. Like, it's exactly because of the fact that they still had a contract that we think Emma should actually try to, make Disney accountable, get Disney accountable for you know, that stuff like Scarlet is doing. Like I said, the reason I think it's a bit you know, like Joe was either count as Joe was or hypocritical in my mind is that okay, so you claim that you're going to sue Disney because of this, and yet but then you back out immediately to make the sequel
when they offer you money, mind you, like, and
yeah, it's called hush money.
Ugh.
As gross as it is what it is.
So is she working as a trash bag
Well,
person?
Okay. Basically, they are a band of thieves who pull off heists and whatnot.
Okay.
However, there's apparently no angle this time. Apparently, she may be trying to go legit.
Look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. The Mooks love their doggies. It should be a shame if Cruella gets them to kill puppies or something.
So, like I said, Shiroy, yeah, apparently being a redhead is preferable to being a black and white head in 60s England.
Even though that, okay, it doesn't make sense either way to make fun of anybody's hair, but
let's make fun of this person who has black and white hair, even though she's a 7 on the scale at worst. It's just a LOL. They're ugly.
Shiroy, your thoughts on the matter?
I think I've already made my thoughts.
Oh no. I know. Well, I guess according to you though, this is kind of inaccurate even for 60s Britain.
Well, I mean, people can dye their hair outside of school and do whatever they want, but in school you're not allowed to do it.
Oh, not just that.
I don't think she's at school at this point.
Yeah, she's too old to be in school at this point.
Oh, no, sure. I was talking about how you said that, if anything, redheads were the one picked on for their hair color.
Yeah.
And yet, in here it's the opposite. She gets picked on by having black and white hair, but she doesn't get picked on by having red hair.
But she doesn't have, like, natural red hair. The red hair she has here is, like, the dyed red, even though it's a wig, and this movie is weird.
No. Is this a wig? No. I'm pretty confident.
I'm pretty sure that's
a redhead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Or did she dye it? Because I thought Jova said earlier it was a wig.
Okay. Yeah. I was slightly mistaken. In story, she dyes it, but I'm pretty sure in real life this is Emma's natural hair.
Yeah. Because remember, in the black and white bit, it's only the child actress. Emma, the moment Emma shows up, it's already with the red hair. So
okay.
I know that later we know from the trailers that later we're gonna see Emma return to her black and white hairdo from the beginning because we saw the trailers. But yeah, right now we're just using her natural hair.
So Cruella, do you pine for something more in life? Does it make you want to sing?
I'm not gonna sing.
I mean, I don't think this film is really a musical that much, is it?
Oh boy, well, it looks like dear Estella's got a wild side.
Well, the original 101 Dalmatians wasn't really a musical either. I mean, it did have the Cruella de Vil song, but that was about it.
Oh no, we're getting drunk singing instead.
So, tell me guys, what do you get when you cross a woman with a society that does nothing but run her over the coals and abandons her? Dwibs, I think you know the answer to this.
I'm trying so hard not to make a
simple. We get a cliche, stupidly written.
Sorry.
Girl boss.
Sorry,
yeah,
Joe.
girl boss.
I was just watching the movie. Could you ask me that again?
Basically, the punchline is that she's about to go Joker on things.
What? She shoots the main villain.
Well, she's about to go into a tirade because society has driven her to this.
Joppa, you're like You were set up for an ex-wife joke right there.
Well, crud.
Oh, someone's getting fired.
Why, it's a modern masterpiece.
Breathe.
Well, actually, sure.
I mean,
think
you could
breathing.
resign and make it easy on yourself.
Nah, I'm pretty sure she's just straight up fired.
Oh no, the Baroness!
Sure. Allow me to give you a suggestion. I think the count to 10 is more effective than breathing.
And now, here's our other leading lady who carries this movie. The
Emma
Baroness.
Thompson.
Yes, played by Emma Thompson. That's right. It's Emma Stone and Emma Thompson on top.
Okay.
Gee, I wonder if she is the villain. I can't tell because of this slow music.
Wow.
What? I don't get it.
What? The yellow card?
She's hired. Because the Baroness liked it.
So the Baroness wants a criminal to work for her or something?
No. Basically,
He doesn't care.
Basically, she likes the display that Cruella put up.
Oh.
So she's hiring her.
I gotta say that this is the fastest gap between unemployed and employed by 10 seconds.
The wonders that can happen when you're drunk. The House of Baroness Courtsure. No, it wasn't Oris.
Also, why R&B music? Why R&B music? But whatever.
So the actors playing Cruella's sidekicks. Jasper's played by Joel Fry, who was in stuff like 10,000 BC, and Yesterday. Basically, Yesterday is a movie where a guy ends up in a parallel universe where he's the only man who's ever heard of the Beatles. He was also in stuff like the TV stuff like The Bill, and this time in Alan Partridge, and so on.
So
Paul Walter Hauser,
yeah,
is the guy playing Horace, and in the past he's played. He was in another film from Craig Gillespie. He was in I, Tonya.
Fun fact.
And he was also in stuff like Key and Peele and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Fun fact, actually, Paul Walter Hauser admitted that he drew inspirations for his role as Horace from the performance of Bob Hoskins as Mr. Smee and Hook.
And he's American.
That works, I think.
So we got two Americans playing a British character.
Well, you don't seem to have complaints, so I could take that as a good sign. So, get this.
Yeah, so far no complaints about accents, but go on, Jova.
So get this. This is Baroness. I kid you, and I swear I'm not making up this name. Her name is Baroness von Hellman.
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, Cruella's hardly a subtle name in the first place,
Well,
so
that's...
this is nothing.
Well, that's the thing, though. We established that Cruella is a name that she calls herself. No. This woman's actual name is Baroness von Hellman. So we have Cruella de Vil and Hellman.
I repeat the whole supervillain scenario that I said earlier.
Like, some people are just born to be a supervillain when you give them a kooky name like that. What were the... Okay, to be fair...
If you're gonna give a name like this to a character, go a lot with the silliness. Do what Metal Gear 2 did, where you fight a guy called Jungle Evil.
To be fair, Pedro... Well, to be fair, Pedro, in terms of going out with the silliness, may I remind you, Dalmatians drop-kicked her mother off a cliff, so...
And with the whole Joker comparison we made earlier, I should stress that this film was in development before Joker came out, so it's not really...
That said, though,
it's just more of a coincidence than anything else.
That said, though, Dibs, remember that reshoots are a thing? Like, technically...
Well, that's the thing, Joe, the time frame they could have done reshoots was during the pandemic, and I haven't heard any accounts from it, so...
I wouldn't be surprised if there are some cases, but maybe. That said, though, considering how Rise of Skywalker just conveniently seemed to be taking inspiration from Endgame, a movie that came out relatively shortly before it, yet despite being in development before Endgame, really does make you think, doesn't it?
Oh, actually, Jova, this film actually managed to meet its original. Okay. It was supposed to come out in December 2020. However, it got delayed to May 28th of this year. However, that was before the pandemic. So, in actuality, this film actually managed to avoid, complications of the pandemic. Aside from it also getting a premiere access release.
So this is already played by John McCrea.
Is this the person that Disney does on their PR events? Meet the first Disney first gay character.
Yes, because LeFou was totally the first ever Disney gay character. God.
They do this every time.
They really do.
Yeah,
we have like a drinking game for it now.
Yes.
I know. it's ridiculous. Okay. I should stress.
Oh, wait, guys, take a shot. This character was promised to be the first original character in a live-action Disney film to be openly gay.
Okay, I should stress. If you're doing it with the best of intentions, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, being proud of the fact that you have a gay character in your movie. However, there is also a tendency to overdo it, which can be thrown back in your face, especially if you do it wrong.
And here's another thing, don't lie. Like, you've already done openly gay characters in live-action movies at this point, Disney.
And here's another thing. They have the Owl House, and the main character is bi, but they don't ever talk about that aspect in all their promotions.
I mean, me personally, if I were writing a show, that's how I'd write a character that's not, not, for lack of a better term, not straight. Just treat it like any other relationship, as normal as anything else, and maybe if we do it all that way, it'll be normalized a lot more efficiently.
Also, Ida is pansexual by the looks of it. From season 2.
You guys do get what I mean, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Look. For as much problems as that show accumulated, I'd argue Steven Universe knew how to handle a gay relationship. It doesn't need to be special. It's a relationship. That's it.
Hey, Disney, if you're so desperate for brownie points, why don't you actually have your first ever, I don't think there's been one actually, but correct me if I'm wrong, why don't you do your first ever trans character, since I don't think there's been many in terms of representation. I mean, like as I've been saying, you've had plenty of gay characters, so the whole first gay character thing is stupid.
Also, Disney, as somebody who can say this, we're not stupid. We pay attention.
Also, Disney, I'm pretty sure the LGBT community still hasn't forgotten about that little stunt you pulled in Rise of Skywalker.
But don't you see, Jova?
Yes. We'll be representative only when it's convenient for us, and we don't want to piss off China.
Yes, the gay characters that can be easily edited out for specific parts of the world.
Which they were.
Okay, to be honest, almost all the film studios are guilty of the whole China pandering shit.
Oh, yeah.
They really are, yeah.
Dude, we're not saying that. We're saying when you're trying to get good PR, but then it's like, oh, well, actually, except for this region, because we can't acknowledge that. So it just comes off as
hey, Mark Strong.
All right. So what exactly is going on right now?
Essentially, she's working for the Baroness to help give good dress designs, which, to be fair, this shows us how Cruella got into the business of fashion, per se.
So she's kind of her secretary at this point?
Also, hello, Mark Strong, again.
Again, that's my theory. Since Disney owned Kingsman now, this is probably the origin story of that version of Merlin.
So Merlin started...
Well, his ancestor or father.
Well, yeah. Deji, it's film logic. It's his ancestor that looks exactly like the one we know in modern times.
Let me guess. They're probably going to pull... Oh, God, what's the name of that character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's played by Remy's voice actor?
Who's Remy?
The main character from Ratatouille.
I forgot.
God, the name of the guy who voices him.
We can look it up.
Alright.
Patton Oswalt. Oh.
Yes. They'll probably pull Patton Oswalt, and for Kingsman 3, have Mark Strong come back as Merlin's twin brother. Basically...
Although they'll just piece him back together. I mean, they can fix a hole in Colin Firth's head.
To be fair, that was a hole, not, blown into pieces. Anyway, basically, the reason I bring up Patton Oswalt, he plays a character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who basically has tons of siblings, ancestors and whatnot, who are all played by him, essentially. So at some point when the original died, boop, in were all his siblings.
Oh boy.
Oh?
Hmm?
It turns out her mother may have worked for the Baroness. Yes. I'm sure this won't inspire the need for revenge or anything.
But she only cares that it really overshadowed her ball.
Oh, God. She calls her a snowflake.
Ah, so that's where Piers Morgan got it from. Whatever you do, don't challenge him on his views of the royal family. He'll walk out of the studio and throw a strop and quit.
I don't... That was just... Oh, guys, the jewel. The jewel that was there that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't keep your schedules clear, don't you? Yeah, somebody tells me that woman might have just a little bit to do with the death of her mother.
Yes, we get it. You failed your mother and all that.
This is where I watch my parents die.
I swear to God, I feel like she repeats monologues about her parents' death more than Bruce Wayne does.
Yeah, I wonder if this film will have had a subtitle. Cruella lost her mother.
She failed her mother.
Yeah, that should have been the tagline for the poster.
It turns out the necklace that the Baroness has is the one that Cruella dropped. Apparently, her mother was supposedly stealing the necklace.
So in terms of what precisely this film was praised and criticised for, in terms of praise, it got praised for the performances.
Of course.
From Stone, Thompson and Hauser. The direction from Craig Gillespie. The visual style, the costume design, the production values, and the soundtrack. But guess what little tiny thing got criticised?
The writing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, okay, let me put it like this. Unlike Maleficent, I'd say the direction was better. Unlike Maleficent, the effects were better. Unlike Maleficent...
Except the Dalmatians.
Oh, God, the Dalmatians. And you know what? Unlike Maleficent, I could be interested in the characters. Here's the problem. The story and where it's going. Oh, God, Bug-Eyed Emma Stone.
Okay, that's kind of funny, Joe. I was going to say, unlike Maleficent, the composer doesn't almost rip off the Harry Potter theme tune like James Newton Howard did in the movie. But this film doesn't have a composer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, on Wikipedia there is no listed composer.
But so far, from what I've noticed, is there's only licensed music in.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there's a credit for a man named Nicholas Britell, who did the score, but on Wikipedia's little tagline list, there was no listed composer for some reason.
So basically, what this movie is essentially a heist film. Well,
Great.
Well, heist/revenge film.
Oh, sweet! Now this is turning into Mission Impossible.
I mean, Cruella's
Hey, Pedro, Dwebs, you want to watch that soon?
What show story?
Mission Impossible.
I've already seen
TV
it
show or
plenty
the
of times.
film?
Film.
I've already seen the film. I mean, Cruella wanting to have revenge and steal stuff isn't out of character exactly.
I think the problem is the basis of stuff. And okay, look, when we actually do get to the high stuff, that's cool. However, I want to point out something people figured. So the trailers had Cruella talking about how she is very highly intelligent. Want to know what was one thing commentators pointed out, though? Yes, Cruella, you're oh so smart. You're so smart that in the future, you're gonna be outsmarted by literal dogs!
Well, again, Joe, but to be fair, this is a reboot, so that particular future continuity doesn't happen in this one. Except
the ending, well, the very ending of this movie suggests that it is going to happen, just under different circumstances. And all the same still, Dwibs, here's the thing. Surely the idea with a reboot would be to have enough stuff familiar with the original context, otherwise you're just, pissing fans off.
Also, can I point out?
I'd argue it would equally piss people off if you say it's a reboot, but you just do the same thing over again.
Let's just say it's not a good reboot. Anyway, back to you, Shiroi.
It doesn't matter what happens in the future in terms of continuity and whether the original movies have any, say in this at all. She skins puppies alive, guys. We can't sympathize with this woman.
I don't know. Those puppies deserved it.
Okay. See? Okay,
they killed her mom.
You said it, not me.
Don't you see? They killed her mom. That made it okay. But okay.
Dog doesn't need to die, Shiroi.
But okay.
You don't punish You don't punish future generations for shit the ancestors did.
Shiori, if I could get you a list of film plots that have done that, but that would probably break our private Discord chat.
But it's stupid.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it.
Okay, but Shiori raises a good point, though. Like, look, reboot or not, we should assume that she's still going to become the evil villain Cruella who skins puppies. Like, and let me put it like this. If the reboot takes that out of the equation, then it's not Cruella. It's not the Cruella based off the book. It's not the Cruella based on the movies. It's just some weird aberration. And that's the thing we have to remember. People were sold on this movie showing us the origins of Cruella de Vil. If you suddenly move the goal to, oh, but this is the origins of a new Cruella de Vil who's more heroic and doesn't hate or kill dogs, that is to the point where you wonder what was even the point.
Else instead of Cruella.
Yeah, and you know what? I think I should just say it right now. If this movie weren't about Cruella, it would have probably have been fine.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh, go on, Shirai.
No. You said it.
Again, that's what makes this movie frustrating. Like, okay, Maleficent was a bad movie pretty much all throughout. All the same, like, okay, even if it weren't based off of Maleficent, oh, hey, Anita. Basically, Anita starts off as somebody covering this with the press and whatnot. Basically, oh yeah, and she's called Anita Tattletale, darling. And yes, the Baroness is in fact racist. Just to make sure that she's the one you hate and not Cruella.
I can hate both, that's fine.
I guess that's why they made Anita black in this version, to show that the Baroness is racist. And look. I don't particularly mind Anita being black, but if that was literally the only reason they had her be black, I'm like, come on, movie. Come on.
Favorite?
I'm pretty sure in most cases that would end with your hair catching fire, but okay, sure.
I thought it was going to burn the whole building down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have killed you, honey.
So, yeah, basically...
No, Pedro. Well, to be fair, there have been performances, in public with people, quote-unquote, being on fire, but they have, special clothing on them.
So that being said, Anita in this story is referred to as Anita Tattletale Darling because she works for a gossip columnist.
Sorry, I keep thinking you're going to say Anita Battle Angel.
And now we turn this into a bit of a superhero film because Cruella can also fight too, complete with gadgets and everything.
I hear this song a lot on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, you can't expect us to root for Cruella knowing that she's going to skin puppies. For reference sake, for those who haven't seen it, there's this team of folks called Team Star Kid, and they essentially make, sort of unofficial but very well-renowned musicals. Their most popular one seems to be, and yes, they dressed up the dog as a rat to show that they're exterminators.
Why not at this point?
Basically, their most popular musical is one called Twisted, The Untold Tale of a Vizier. It's basically, a better version of Maleficent, but done with Jafar in a musical form, aka Wicked but for Aladdin, showcasing about where the hero's the bad guy and the bad guy is the hero. And without spoiling, they do it in a very good way that works. Why do I bring this up? There's this one musical number where essentially Jafar is singing with the other Disney villains. Like, you got Captain Hook, Maleficent, Ursula, Scar, and Gaston. And they all go into how, from their perspectives, you could in some way see them as the hero. Someone who just wanted to save the day, somebody who just wanted to belong, somebody who just wanted her proper heritage, because that one is going off of the continuity that Ursula was originally the rightful ruler for Atlantica and all that. Regardless, and Captain Hook wanting to teach the boy respect, and Scar being a ruler who wanted to unite people of both races. So, when Cruella came on and sings that all she wanted to do was skin puppies, all the villains reacted in disgust and shooed her off the stage because, yeah, there is nothing sympathetic about that. Unless you're doing it to maybe save people from dying in a winter storm, and let's be honest, she probably wasn't. My point is that Cruella has even less of a reason for us to sympathize with her than Maleficent. Who was this movie for, exactly?
People.
I guess fans of the girl boss one. Oh, actually, sure, you're a fan of the girl boss trope and all that jazz.
No.
Oh. So, okay. Is there anything you find uplifting in this movie? Something you can look up to, or...
This movie hasn't even tried to state a message. Like, I'm not sure what I'm...
What's your name?
Guys.
I should just,
Guys.
I'm Cruella.
Look, it's the same doggos. It's the same doggos.
And they growl, too. Again.
Well, after all those years, they're still alive.
Oh, there you go, Sisha. We don't have to make the descendants of the doggos pay. We can just have because apparently the same doggos from back then haven't aged at all.
And they're still just as vicious, too. How even? Like, shouldn't they be old at this point?
I'm pretty confident those dogs should be dead by this point.
Shiroi?
Back in the flashback, in the prologue, when she was a child, those dogs were fully grown adult dogs. Considering there's been at the very least, 18 years since then? Yeah, those dogs are dead.
So, Pedro, as somebody who owns a dog, how old should they be at this point?
Well, I don't know exactly how old they were at the prologue, but they were fully adult, clearly, so they shouldn't even be alive at this point.
So what's say the youngest a dog needs to be to look as big as they did back when they killed her mother?
Dalmatians. Do you know anything about that, Shiroi? Because
Anything about what, sorry?
About how old the Dalmatians would have had to have been at the very least for them to look as big as they did when they killed her mother.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, they definitely looked like they were fully grown adult dogs, though. They didn't look like puppies at all.
And apparently they're just as fine now as they were back then.
Yeah, that makes no sense, movie.
Hell, Cruella's own dog was shown to age. So why haven't the Dalmatians?
Because I guess because we need to make them still look vicious and evil so that we support Cruella killing them. I don't know.
And now Cruella's got the necklace.
Oh, we got rats in the rats doing the main character's bidding. So, okay, have we got that one from the Suicide Squad in here now?
I think Ratcatcher's busy in America doing something else.
Which Ratcatcher?
Oh God, I guess the original. What? And now I give to you the plot twist, ladies and gentlemen. See, watch. She trained the dogs with a whistle to kill the mother. See, it turns out...
Now we've got Dog Hit then.
So you see, it turns out Cruella didn't kill her mother. It was the Baroness who killed her mother.
But for what reason, though?
Because
okay.
she wanted her necklace.
Okay, we actually haven't gotten to the full reveal of that yet. Jesus Christ, that looked bad. But okay, that's another thing that is yet to be revealed. But for now, Cruella knows that she need not blame herself, for it was the Baroness who killed her mother by having Dalmatians dropkick her off a cliff. It still doesn't make it any better. In fact, if anything, it kind of makes it worse with stupidity.
Well, hold on. Okay, so she wanted to kill the mother. Then how come the dogs were first going after her then?
Again, there's still more of the mystery left.
Also, Pedro, I looked it up, and it makes the movie make even less sense. Apparently, the average lifespan for a Dalmatian is 10 to 13 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
those Dalmatians should be dead.
Those Dalmatians are fucking dead.
Unless, like, these are the children of them, or there's some cloning happening.
Different ones and
like,
she commands them with the same whistle.
Maybe that's the case, but it's weird though. Like Shuri mentioned though, the movie seems to be hinting that they are the same dogs as before.
well, I didn't say that, but I mean, like, I guess the way they've been portrayed here is just to trigger a memory in Cruella, like that kind of thing. They could very well not be the same dogs. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not the same dog.
I think the problem is that they look exactly the same as before.
Honestly, considering how stupid this movie is, I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest with you.
No, duh! The Baroness killed your mother. Now let's spell it out for the audience, shall we?
It hasn't even been an hour yet.
No, it hasn't.
no.
We're not even halfway through.
I told you, this movie goes crazy places. And yes, movies, please spell out what you just showed to us a few seconds ago.
Yeah, but they don't know.
Okay, fair enough, but it feels like such an awkward tell. Like, the way she says it directly to the camera feels like they're speaking to the audience. But hey, on the plus side, Cruella now no longer blames herself. On the downside, now this means chaos and anarchy be damned, she's going to do whatever she can to take down the Baroness. And that's the moment her sanity snapped.
What does that say? Cocoa what?
Cocoa
Cocoa
Krispies.
Krispies. Yeah.
Cocoa Krispies. I'm guessing that's what we called Cocoa Pops back then.
I thought you still called it that there. Yeah.
And we don't
Very
call them
good.
Cocoa Pops, but maybe they couldn't call them Cocoa Pops.
Oh no, and now she's starting to act more mean by throwing the cereal off the table. Why? To show that she's mean!
I found the reason, guys.
What?
I'll read the Wikipedia quote real quick. In February 1998, British Armour Kellogg's renamed the brand in the country Choco Krispies, but sales quickly declined in the spring of 1999. Telephone and internet poll voters wanted the name changed back to Cocoa Pops, and the name was reinstated that May. Yeah, it was called Cocoa Pops here in Britain as early as 1963.
Oh, don't you
And
see?
then they changed it to Cocoa Krispies.
Don't you see? Now Cruella's starting to become colder and crueler to the ones she sees as her friends. Bit of a throwback to the original movie.
That was a throwback to that. I forgot that one.
Kind of makes me wonder, why does Anita buy into calling her Cruella in later stuff?
There you go, Joe. Because there you go. Just the movie literally just answered your question.
Yeah, again, just because she says I'm Cruella, like, okay, would you just, like, call your friend who says, oh, I'm no longer John, I'm now Satan. Would you call your friend Satan from now on?
I will call the police.
Well, Jova, considering how a lot of people don't like it when you don't call them by whatever name they want us to call them, that I guess yes.
Again, though, like, I love how Anita takes this all at face value. Like, you haven't seen your friend in eons, suddenly she comes back looking, just a little deranged. You know, literal bags under the eyes and says, oh, I'm no longer Estella, I am literally Cruella motherfucking DeVille.
Also, Pedro, that's a false equivalence.
Well, actually, I wasn't making an equivalence to that. Outside of that, there's other cases where that happens, Shiroi.
I can't think of any. Sorry.
Well, again, though, my point is like, well, I think Anita took that a little too easily. Again, maybe, well, like Dad said, maybe you might want to call the police a little if the friend's acting a little strange. Not too long after, last night where a black and white haired Deville of sorts caused chaos. Well, okay, she was kind of noticed, but still.
Car wash.
Okay, we get it. The Dalmatians are scary. We're playing car wash.
The dog wash.
Wow, those are terribly trained dogs.
Don't you see? They noticed that the dog is affiliated with Cruella. Nothing stereotypical here about an openly gay guy.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem with it's like I said. if you make such a big deal out of it, you better pray to God you get it right, because if you don't,
the first openly gay guy in a Disney live-action movie.
Citation needed.
I read on TV Tropes actually. That's a bit of a meme. Like, someone actually quoted as like the 7th first gay character in a Disney movie.
So here's another issue I kind of have with the movie. It's not like a gradual character descent, but almost like as soon as she figures out that the Baroness kills her mother, she sort of starts literally falling into the Deville persona. Basically, okay, I get that Cruella needs to become Cruella, but am I the one who feels like her descent into madness is just a little too instant?
At least with Joker, it was built up.
Yeah, this feels like they want to get ahead to the Joker phase of things, except, well, like Dad said, in Joker was built up. Here, it's like, Baroness killed my mom? Well, that's it! I'm gonna go crazy! London's going to burn down and yada yada yada!
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm sure. Yes?
Quick question, Jova, real quick, since we saw a serial example earlier on in the film.
Uh-huh.
Why do you call Frosties Frosted Flakes?
Because they're frosted.
That's what it's called in America.
Yeah.
They're not even really flakes.
I get it. It different. We call things different here. Like we call where's Waldo here. We call it where's Waldo here, and you call it
where's Wally.
So now essentially,
so it's always confusing, but I just accept it.
So now, guys,
you gotta look for a guy anyway. Yes, Jova.
So now, guys, Cruella literally has a secret identity as a Stella, which, yeah, she's more or less becoming Joker and Harley Quinn.
Combined.
Yes. Again, here's the difference. For as much problems as the Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey movie had, that movie remembered Harley Quinn's an asshole. We're not necessarily supposed to look up to her as a role model. We can be
too bad the movie forgot how to write.
Oh, yes. That was still a problem. But that said, the movie at least remembered we do not sympathize with a goddamn villain. And Joker was very smart in remembering that for as much as we may sympathize with Arthur, we do not, I repeat, we do not praise his more depraved activities.
Allow me to add to what Jova just said. This is something that's a big problem with the people who write these remakes. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Let me use an example. The reason people empathize with let's use Thanos, for example. the reason people don't hate Thanos like you would hate a villain like Cruella, and by that I mean OG Cruella, not this fake, is because even though we don't sympathize with him because he's a well, yeah, we empathize with him because we understand where he's coming from and what made him come to where he is now. The problem with this is that they're not going for empathy here; they're going for sympathy. They want us to flat out like this character and think she's in the right by doing what she's gonna do.
Oh my God, the
What year did
future!
this song come out?
What, one way or another?
Yes.
Let me see.
Oh!
Okay, it was a song from Blondie, and it came out in 1979.
Oh,
Playing music. Why aren't they playing music that takes place in the 60s?
well, I mean, it depends.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
Bella. Cruella, what kind of a name is that? Meanwhile, I, Baroness von Hellman, find this most unorthodox. Like, the person called Hellman literally wonders what kind of a name Cruella is. Police baffled.
Well, I mean, Jennifer, it's not the first time Disney has made weird, hypocritical jokes in regards to names. Like, you know the whole 9 Pieces of 8 thing in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh my God, that outfit.
Also, about the time lapse of this movie, like, is the bit when she's a child in the 60s, or is the adult age currently in the 60s? Because...
wait,
the adult
to be fair,
age is
say
currently...
10 years did pass, so never mind.
Wait, hold on. Did the movie start in the 60s, or are we in the 60s now?
It started.
It started in the 60s.
Okay. So most of it takes place in the 70s, then.
Alright, so basically... Okay, Disney made this weird joke about the 9 Pieces of 8 in Pirates 3, where it was like, yeah, we were really poor, so we just had like 9 pieces of random stuff, and we didn't call it that because it would sound very pirate. Even though they could have just easily renamed it.
They really could have.
Pirates 3 is dumb.
I have a soft spot for Pirates 3, but look. By the time of the ending, even I was tired. And not in the sense that the movie tuckered me out, but I really don't like that ending. Because case in point, getting us back to goddamn square one is not a good idea.
Wait, which movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean's free.
Oh God, that movie was so boring.
And before anyone says, no, I did not like that when Pirates 5 retconned that too, because it just proves that they have no idea what they're doing.
How dare you guys have a lunch break?
She's that evil.
Wait. What kind of boss gets annoyed that their employees have lunch breaks?
One called Hellman, and also one who keeps cameras even in the...
Deji, allow me to introduce you to a man named Jeff Bezos.
I know. Hey, Dwebs, I worked for him.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I technically worked at Whole Foods, but still, it's an Amazon-owned company.
I don't know a single person who has enjoyed working at Amazon.
So you see, it turns out she owns the alleyway that she was having a lunch break in, so she had cameras there. Which means that if that's holding out, sorry, you have to cough it up to her. And look at how evil she is, stealing her designs. Okay, look. I'll just say this. The movie's at the best when Emma Stone and Emma Thompson are trying to top each other at how crazy they can be. Again.
Don't worry, Ed. Don't worry, Cruella. She'll pay you an exposure.
Again, here's the problem. The movie wants us to sympathize with Cruella. Don't get me wrong. Hellman's terrible, but 2 wrongs do not make a right. She literally made a dress from newspapers. Go on,
Shirley. They tried to top the meat dress from Lady Gaga or something.
Yes.
A dress made from literal garbage. Watch as it flows in the night.
Very London.
No wonder she's
Oh!
smiling. It's like, oh my god, that dress is seriously going to compete with mine.
Also, speaking of Joker, the typical waving your head out from a vehicle while you ride bit. I know that
So
Joker.
basically-
Sorry, go on.
Wait, why are you trying to sue her? I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it garnered attention, but a dress made out of literal shit or garbage or rubbish. I mean, I don't think that's really.
I'm sure.
Oh,
he
but
can
wait.
just
Oh, wait.
sue
By the way,
her.
guys, that's Roger.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that bearded guy has been Roger this whole time, and Cruella fired him.
Well, not Cruella.
I mean, sorry, Hellman fired him.
Don't worry, Joe. They both have really ridiculous names. I get confused.
But yeah, get this. Roger originally worked for Hellman. And we all know what becomes of Roger later on, right?
He gets arrested.
Well, no, he's the owner of Pongo. Who will eventually marry Anita. You don't know who I am? Oh, you will. You will.
You know, Jova, like, doing that just now, like, okay, the thing about this movie is, I actually wouldn't
Sorry. I
mind.
thought I was going to go into the Mission Impossible thing.
Hold on,
for a
Yeah,
hold
so
second.
did I for a moment.
Yeah. Go on, Shiroy.
Like, I wouldn't mind an origin story for Cruella de Vil, but I want a movie where I just see her lose it and there's no, you know, moral or this person's right and this person's bad, everyone's shit,
Yeah,
really. I just want to watch a movie about a crazy lady. Is that too much to ask?
You know,
I mean, Shiori, Disney can throw at you. You already made 2 of those.
It's
like
the
again,
same
I
problem
can
with
just-
Maleficent. Just give us a movie with the villain is the main character. Even if they lose or whatnot, us seeing it from their perspective is better. Again, that's one of the main reasons why Maleficent had a lot of hype in the first place. Disney made great villains, so seeing more of them would be great. But no, Disney seems to think that we can't enjoy a movie that just has a downright evil protagonist. I mean, see what they did to freaking Artemis Fowl, turning who was originally a villain protagonist into a full-on hero. Jesus.
And yes, Deji?
can see a not from this, but it's like, oh, you want an origin story about Cruella, how she became a horrible piece of garbage? Simple. She grew up poor. She learned that in a selfish world, the selfish succeeds, and that's how she became insane.
But don't you see, Dalmatians killed her mother.
There's literally 1,000 things they could have done besides, oh yes, my mom, she got killed by Dalmatians, but I thought it was because of me. But then 10 years later, I start working for this businesswoman.
And believe it or not, Dej, it's still gonna get more convoluted. We still don't know the full backstory of it. Oh my god. But okay. You know, also, I just want to point this out. Has anyone noticed that the only time Disney seems to have made full-on movies that sympathize with the villains more, has anyone noticed that they've only really done it with girl villains so far? I mean, I'm not.
Wait, wait a minute. Have they really?
I mean, are you ready for? Do you want a Jafar movie?
Well, yeah, sure. Give us a Jafar movie.
Wait, actually, aren't they making a Gaston prequel?
That's a
from
show.
The Beauty and the Beast universe.
That's a show, I believe.
Two things. One, I don't think I recall Jova dreading the prospect of a live-action Jafar movie, considering what we made of the 2019 film. And two, you know what? I'm surprised there hasn't been at least even considered yet a live-action movie based on the villain of Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Or hell. You know what? Here's the most obvious one. Captain Hook. Like,
I thought you were going to say Scar.
Well, okay, Scar too, but think about it.
No.
Well,
Actually, we're getting a Scar and Mufasa prequel movie.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, though. Seriously, though. Captain Hook is like the obvious one, because, okay, for several reasons. First of all, Captain Hook is someone you could easily make a movie based off of. He's a pirate. Like, pirate movies are easy to make. Second, in terms of sympathizing with him, Peter Pan is one of those more morally ambiguous type of characters, to the point where there have been some takes on the stories where he will in fact kill a lost boy when they become too old. So, yeah, you could easily make a case where Captain Hook's the good guy and Peter Pan's the bad guy. Like, let's not forget, Peter was the one who cut off Hook's hand and fed it to a crocodile, which has then caused that crocodile to chase Hook for the rest of his life. There is, in fact, a case you could make for Peter Pan being the bad guy of a story here and there. And not only that, Hook is someone who at least sees himself as a respectable gentleman. You could easily twist that into him actually being a respectable gentleman. Which is, again, my point. All these Disney villains that they're trying to make us sympathize with, and they didn't think of the obvious one with Hook. And again, were Disney trying to challenge themselves with trying to make us sympathize with, again, Cruella de Vil? Like, Maleficent may be the mistress of all evil, but Cruella's literally the one who just wants to skin puppies. Anyway, more heist stuff. Was there something else you wanted to say?
Jasper's getting annoyed.
Was there something else you wanted to say, Shiroi?
So basically, if I understood correctly...
No, but anyway, go on, Peter.
If I understood correctly, the rest of this movie is just Cruella and her goons basically screwing up the Baroness's stuff.
Well, no. There's more to come. That being said, though, again, I just want to point out, Cruella is this smart, but she will later get outsmarted by Dalmatians. Like, again, or not, we have to assume that Cruella will become the villain who tries to skin these dogs. And unless they turn it into a case where she wins, she's gonna get outsmarted by these dogs later on.
Okay, what have I missed? Oh, yeah. She's paranoid that people are going to steal her dresses, so she locks them in a safe.
Mm-hmm. You know, I love how Hellman never thinks, say, you know, the woman named Estella doesn't sound too far off from Cruella. She happens to work for me, so she may have an inside bit here and there.
Oh, she looks similar.
Not to mention the fact that I have literally stolen her work right from her very hand, so that alone would give her a motivation to hate me. But no, I am in complete control of her.
Or maybe it's trying to do the whole, oh, I know all along, I'm just fucking with her.
This movie is exhausting.
Like, okay, yeah, this movie is without a doubt a wild roller coaster ride that can leave you tired.
Honestly, the main reason why I'm exhausted is because this movie is so pointless and terrible that I'm just so done.
Like I said, it's at its best when Emma Stone and Emma Thompson are just trying to top each other. Otherwise, it's a girl boss heist revenge flick. At its worst, it's a poor man's Joker and Harley Quinn trying to again make you sympathize with one of the most evil women in all of fictional media.
Also, I thought it had been quite a while since you checked the progress bar. No, it hasn't actually been that long.
And again, but don't you see now, Cruella's starting to act more cruel to them. Again, it's to show you that we remember that Cruella's supposed to become evil. Totally, yeah. Oh, look at how sad it is.
Well, that's what you get for killing my mom.
Oh, but she'll allow the Dalmatian to lie there.
I still hate you, though, because you killed my mom. Supposedly, but the movie doesn't really make clear whether you're not the same Dalmatian or not, so...
But they were essentially being mind-controlled in a way, so it's not really their fault.
And, you know, I guess she doesn't seem to be taking it out on them for the time being. So that does raise us the question, though. How does she become Cruella who hates dogs? And again, reboot or not, I don't think a reboot should make it so that she's a Cruella who doesn't hate dogs, because, well, That's like making a well, okay, that worked in Once Upon a Time, but only because it was a completely different bout of circumstances.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, by the way. Cruella, and by that I mean OG Cruella, doesn't actually hate dogs. The dogs are just a means to an end. She just wants to skin the puppies so she can get their fur to make fur coats. She doesn't actually hate dogs. She just sees dogs as fur that she can use. That's it. But she doesn't actually actively hate dogs.
Indeed.
So this entire idea completely is shot in the ass from the very starting line.
Oh, hi, Mark Strong. I'm sure you'll have a point later on. But yeah, Pedro just raised a good point. The whole thing with having Dalmatians kill her mother makes it feel like they're just trying to make Cruella Batman for dogs. I will become a symbol of fear to all dogs against those who killed my mother.
Speaking of Batman, this...
she was perfectly fine with this, but when she saw rats, she's like, ah!
Yeah, speaking of Batman, the movie was basically kind of ripping off Batman Begins and doing it badly there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But instead of bats, it's moths.
And it turns out those moths are having quite a gander eating the dress.
Oh, God.
Yes, that little what?
So
We're not allowed to do the swears.
So yeah, Cruella is essentially Batman now. But now, oh my God.
Okay, so here's a dumb question.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what's their name, Hollis and
Horace
and Jasper. How did no one not recognize? Hey, wait a minute! I've seen those two. They were with Estella.
Disguises. And now we get a music number
from this Kiss wannabe.
That's right.
Okay. Something I should stress. Disney Plus. All it says for in terms of the singing, it just says singing. It doesn't have the lyrics.
It never does have the lyrics.
I mean, granted, it's not important to the story, but still.
If this was a different movie, she would have just shot that guy.
So yeah,
usually, well, that's the thing. Usually, in these closed captions for deaf people type of thing, they usually only subtitle the lyrics when it's actually important for the story. And as you just said, the guy that guy's song is basically just background noise for the hell of it. So it's not you're not really supposed to pay attention to that.
It is kind of a shame though if you did want to listen to what the lyrics are. And yes, Cruella is essentially hosting her own show with blackjack and hookers. Oh, by the way, the Baroness thinks that she killed her dogs. Wait, and made a coat?
How do you know that?
Well, see, look, she made a coat that's black and white and has spots on it.
That doesn't prove it.
Shut up, I'm trying to sound smart.
Her dogs disappeared around the same time that Cruella appeared.
And
she got that coat came from France or something. Like there's like a million different ways she could have gotten that.
Chase it! The cops!
Oh, they got here fast.
I'm saying nothing. I mean, granted, yeah, noise violations are a very serious thing because people are trying to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Don't you see? Jasper's like, we should have left her on that park bench. She's become way too crappy and all that.
Yeah, she's almost cruel in a way.
Oh, hey, Roger.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is hands down the most hammy news presenter I've ever seen.
Don't you see? Rumor is it she made the dress out of Dalmatians.
What the hell's LB? LBN's not a thing. You could have used ITN or something. That is an actual news agency. It's not like you can't afford it. I mean, Thor the Dark World actually had ITV
snap.
news.
Oh.
Look who's talking.
And the pot to the kettle. You know what?
The black and white kettle is calling the.
Okay, Deji. I can't say it without getting in trouble, so I'm gonna give you a line for you to say. Let me write it.
Oh God, what?
Wait.
Concerned.
Oh, okay. Just let me know what I have to say, and I'll. All right.
So, Dej, turns out you were kind of caught on. She finally fought to tail Jasper and Horace back to the hideout. Well, you see, darling, I think that the most reasonable about here now is to go straight to murder. The fashion industry is very cutthroat, you know.
Literally.
Sorry. And the pot turned to the kettle and said, "You one black-ass motherfucker."
Hell yeah. There you go.
Is that a reference?
No. It's just, no, Shiro.
Oh, wait, guys. Here comes a big plot revelation.
Well, the one we already know.
Well, there's more to come.
Oh, is this the whole... Is this the scene that's pretty much, for me, it was Tuesday? No. Really? That's the best you could do? Oh, yeah. I'm sure they'll believe the story of, Cruella being bound and gagged to a chair. Yeah, and the house being on fire. Okay, Jova, remind me, what is well, I can't remember, for lack of a better term, Devella? What's her plan here exactly?
Are you referring to DeVille
Blaze
or
of Glory?
Hellman?
Ah, yeah, she said
You
it.
called it.
Yes!
Yeah, to Hellman. What's her plan at this point here exactly?
Kill Cruella and have her charred remains be burned so that they won't be able to tell what happened to her. But it's okay because the dogs are here to help her. Oh no, I wonder if Cruella's going to die.
It's not like we have like a third of the movie left or anything.
It's not like she's the villain of a later movie or something.
Well, okay. Rare as it is, I'm pretty sure there has been an example of a movie where it's like the titular protagonist of a movie, you're like, oh, they're not gonna die, but they actually die, and then the rest of the movie is taken over by someone else.
Yeah, Book of Henry, and it was shit.
Ugh, God.
Oh yeah, that's it. There you go.
That movie was, I don't know. I found that movie a lot more entertaining than this one.
Well, okay, Shiroi. I did not say there was a good movie that did that.
That is true.
So, yes, Cruella is supposedly dead. Well, no, she's not.
But who saved her?
Yeah, I wish I was watching Book of Henry right now.
Peter, I'm guessing.
Mark Strong saved her. So now it's time for Mark Strong's character to, have a point, given it is freaking Mark Strong playing him.
Must have aged over. Unfortunately, during the course of our commentaries, Mark Strong has had the misfortune of playing some rather forgettable characters like whoever he was meant to be in John Carter and whoever he was meant to be in Green Lantern.
Wait, he was in John
Carter?
Carter?
Yeah.
Also, to give him credit in Green Lantern, he was Sinestro. I actually remember Sinestro.
Wait, you don't know who Sinestro is?
No, Dwibs
I'm not a
doesn't.
comic book reader.
But I thought you watched the Justice League cartoon.
No, I haven't.
Huh.
Miss DeVille, I'm here to... Have you ever heard of the Kingsmen? You see, we want to... here's my card. You might want to come in and talk to...
Yeah.
Okay. Not gonna lie, a Cruella, DeVille, and Kingsman crossover could actually be pretty awesome.
Hey, did you know that they were thinking of...
Oh, guys! Here it comes. The Baroness had a kid. It turns out Cruella was the Baroness's child.
What?
Yep. Remember how I said
What?
See, the Baron was a sweet man.
But wait a minute, Mr. Merlin. If they're the king's men, why are you recruiting me? Well, look at it this way. We can call it king's people. That one doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it?
Oh god, Pedro, they got me imagining. Imagine if they tried to write that line. Imagine if they tried to do that, like that stupid line of dialogue in Dark Phoenix.
Okay, seriously, keep listening, guys. It gets sillier.
What?
Yep. That time we saw Cruella's birth, it was the Baroness giving her.
Oh.
That said, the Baroness wanted Mark Strong's character to, well, kill the baby as soon as it was born.
Yeah, but obviously he wouldn't do that.
So he gave her to Cruella's stepmother. Basically, the Baroness was so evil that she wanted that baby killed as soon as she was born. And the Baron passed out, well, died from grief.
I'm guessing abortions weren't a thing at the time?
No. Oh, look, here's the thing. The Baron was overjoyed to have a child and whatnot. The Baroness never even argued against it. It's just that, no, it's that apparently when Cruella was born, the Baroness was so narcissistic that she couldn't bring herself to love Cruella, so she decided, I have to kill her. So she ordered Mark Strong to, but then Mark Strong gave her to this other woman, Catherine, who, you know, we thought was Cruella's real mother.
I literally just saw it.
I mean, because it's not like adoption is an option or anything.
Well,
no,
okay.
you just kill him.
Did you intend to rhyme that story?
To be fair,
No, I didn't.
To be fair, the main reason was that her father, the Baron, actually was overjoyed and probably wouldn't have wanted to have given her up.
That's the thing, Shiori. This particular story idea, the whole rich people who don't like this illegitimate child or whatever it is.
Oh, no. Okay. That's the thing. She wasn't an illegitimate child. That's the thing. The Baron, again, here's the thing. Her actual father, the Baron...
Joe, but I was just trying to say, that's why I said or something, because I
guess
that.
The reaction. This is basically the movie in a nutshell.
What reaction? The Viking on a London bridge?
Go.
Anyway, go on, Pedro.
Go to the chat, Dwibs.
Yeah.
Roll with it. Get it? Because it rolls, because it has wheels.
It's like, see, here's the thing. Dating back to hundreds of years ago at this point, actually, there's been plenty of old stories about rich people who send a kid that they don't like or don't want or whatever, for whatever reason, and then they tell their servants, kill this kid and do it without them noticing anything. But then the servant takes pity on the baby and raises that baby his or herself. It's a very, very old story idea that's been used for years. So that's what the movie's trying to do, is trying to do a throwback to that kind of thing, which I don't necessarily mind. It's just that by this point, it's just, who cares?
But don't you see, it turns out her real mother is just that terrible. Don't you feel sorry for Cruella?
You know what? I need to go wash my face. Be right back.
Yeah, I was going to say, guys, that loud sigh of Pedro's, I get the feeling he's not a huge fan of this.
Gee, Dwibs, you must be psychic.
Well, that Pedro, when people can hear your sigh from space, but yeah.
Seriously, though.
And my sighs are that loud? That's amazing.
I
need to.
I just want to point this out. Somebody wrote, Cruella was attempted murder on by her biological mother, who was so evil that she wanted the baby killed. So then, when her foster mother brought her back to the house, her real mother had Dalmatians kill the woman that she viewed as a mother and toss her off a cliff. Because she's that evil.
A combined total of 5 people wrote this movie.
And for the record, this feel for the and then they pitched that script, and apparently nobody at Disney said what they should have said, which is, okay, this is a really fun prank. Now where's the real story idea?
I love that bout. She says, "I'm Cruella, born brilliant, born bad, and a little mad." Okay, now.
In fact,
I am not like her.
I'll say
even
it when I get back.
I'm not like her. I'm better. Yeah, you're totally better than your mother.
Which mother?
Her biological one.
I was just gonna say, would it be a twist if it turns out that the second mother was also evil?
Amazingly, they did not go that far. So, but guys, what do you think of it? What do you think of the truth now?
Also,
it's rather complicated.
Also, you're not better because all of you are shitty people. So you're not better.
And she just leaves the bike there for some reason. What the hell?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's she gonna get to where she's going now? By bus?
Walking.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll say it now. Yeah, but like I said, they pitched this story idea, and nobody at Disney said that what I would have said if I presented this story idea. Wow, you're funny. That's a great prank. Now tell me what the real story idea is.
Like, okay.
It's okay. Sure. How about this? You'll be the people. I forgot what the company was that published the manga. You'll be the editor.
She threw a chair. She's that angry.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weak throw.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons did it better for her.
Here. Let's role play. How about this? You're the editor at whatever publishing company published the manga, because I forgot the name, and I'll be Naoko. Okay, see, I have this great idea. You see, Artemis turns out he can turn into a human, and then there's this kind of love affair between Minako and Artemis. Great idea, right?
Isn't she a bit young for him?
Well,
and he's also a cat.
But you know, they've been together for so long. Why not have them? You know.
He also has a wife and a child.
Whatever. Minako doesn't mind. She's not jealous.
You're fired.
Yeah, that's what should have happened. That's what I would have done.
Guys, here we go. Hey guys, have you seen Terminator?
Oh yeah, this bit. Okay, Jover, I can actually tell you something. I saw this movie, well, like 90% of it, like last week.
Yes.
Or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly at the time of this recording. But yeah, I didn't hate what I saw, but I wasn't exactly wholly enamored by it either.
Like, again, this movie could have been a good movie, but it is literally dragged down by the first 10 minutes, and even still, for as much as it tries to pump life into it, well, then it just keeps convoluting stuff and making it worse.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep hearing that song, and I keep thinking it's going to break into the grandstand theme, but it doesn't. X sports program here in Britain, in case you're wondering.
Oh, isn't that nice? Cruella came through for her boys, which, okay.
Well, she needs them.
Well, this is kind of a problem again, though. Again, the movie tries to have her act cruel towards them, and of course, we have the second act breakup where they say we should have left her on that park bench, but of course, now they'll be getting along again, and... Okay, maybe they want to make Cruella somewhat nicer in this reboot first, but again, it feels more like they're trying to prep her up as someone we're supposed to sympathize with. Thank you, England's finest.
Okay. Either it's the grandstand theme or a new song that somehow got mashed into this one.
Okay. So, for as much a wild ride as the movie has been, and an exhaustive one, we still have 30 minutes left.
Isn't this another criticism of the movie? It feels like it ends, but then it just goes on for like another half hour.
Like, yeah, like this movie is literally exhausting and not in the good way.
I'm glad I didn't see this in cinemas. I'll probably fall asleep in the seat.
Dun dun dun!
Yes, we know.
This is too much for us, lady.
I mean, I know they don't, but
You know what I love? The first thing Cruella said after figuring that out was, "This has been a confusing day." Like, yeah, that's a good way to sum up the plot.
Also, you gonna apologize to them, or?
Also get it?
No.
Also get it, guys? Cruella is the girl, the baby who lived. Why does that sound familiar?
Ugh.
And it's kill or be killed, as she puts it.
we don't know yet.
Well, she did try to burn us down, so I guess that... A bit mad? A bit mad? And there she says it. They're her family. So, how did Cruella treat her family in the original movies again, Shiroi?
Pretty damn poorly, actually.
Look, if this movie were trying to maybe buy into the irony that she'll become an even bigger monster than Hellman, that would be fine. But this movie doesn't. We are supposed to take the scene seriously. Like, I don't even have a joke to make about that. It pretty much writes itself. This movie, honest to God, wants us to sympathize with one of the most evil women ever. Dalmatian
Also,
Killer Dead.
Crumpets. Oh yeah, Crumpets. Because okay, let me find out if anyone British wrote the script or story. Let me see.
Also, you know what's funny? People keep calling her the Dalmatian Killer, but she hasn't killed a Dalmatian yet. Like, is the movie trying to be ironic about that?
New York, Australia, France, England. There we go.
There you go.
And Louisiana. So yes, it's actually quite the over the variety. We have one from Australia, one from France, 2 Americans, and a Brit.
Wow.
Oh, and you'll love. Oh yeah, Jovi, you'll love this one. One of the story writers, while writing stuff like Saving Mr. Banks, also wrote stuff including such classics as 50 Shades of Grey and Venom 2018.
Oh, wow.
Well, to be fair, in the case of, to be fair, in both cases, in one case she was adapting a horrible book, and in the other case there were other script writers.
Also, Paige, you missed the scene where Cruella declared that Horse and Jasper are her family.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't give a shit. God,
did you drink?
I just came back from the bathroom because I needed to wash my face real quick. Okay. Sure. Watch one. Okay, have you guys seen the supervillain episode of Pop-Up Girls about Harold Smith, that normal guy who wants to become a supervillain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, remember that scene when he goes to the bathroom and he's washing his face? All right, Harold, you can do this. Just one night. Great. And then that's basically what I was doing on my bathroom right now. All right, Pedro, you can do this. Just 30 more minutes. That's...
Like,
But yeah,
okay.
probably said in Portuguese, but yes.
So, Pedro, question.
Yes.
Which movie do you find more exhaustive, this or Maleficent?
I will argue Maleficent was probably more fun to pick apart. This is just frustrating.
Yeah. It's like I said. It's not as bad a movie as Maleficent, but it is a much, much
honestly,
much more frustrating one, which I guess you could argue.
I don't know, Java. I found the premise of Maleficent to be more believable than even this, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, I didn't find that believable either. But this movie takes the fucking cake.
I can
Jesus
definitely see what
Christ.
you mean. Okay, like, well,
Because at the very least, Maleficent didn't literally start with the way this movie started.
you see what this movie is doing? This movie's
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'd argue the beginning of Maleficent was much more unnecessarily depraved than this.
It was. I mean, okay. Look, was it really? I mean, aside from the whole.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if that was the intention of the filmmakers.
Oh wait, guys! This part's important. And
But
that
the metaphor implied in that one is really depraved.
And that's how Cruella decided to change her name to Cruella de Vil, because she liked the name of a car. The car brand that she'll later...
Vil wrong, but whatever.
To be perfectly honest with you, Dwibs, I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Care to explain?
The bit where she wakes up and her wings are cut off.
I mean... wasn't that later in the film than, like, the first 10 minutes?
No, that was right at the beginning.
Wait, is it supposed to be some kind of religious metaphor of sorts?
No.
He's talking about the bits where He's talking about the bit where King Stefan seduces Maleficent and then cuts her wings in her sleeve.
Well, King Stefan is supposed to be the bad guy of that movie.
No, he isn't.
Well, okay. Yes, he is. Well, here's the thing: from the perspective of the movie and the filmmakers making this, King Stefan is the bad guy. Like, yes, of course. Obviously, if you compare it, obviously we refuse that notion because of Sleeping Beauty. But if you just look at the story on its own without looking at any of the movies that supposedly come after. From the context of the movie, King Stefan is the bad guy.
Again, Dwibs, hey, it's like you said for this movie. That one's technically supposed to be a reboot, except for the fact that they did not advertise that movie as a reboot one bit.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Wow, she's so evil that she tases her own mooks just to test a taser out.
It's like a Jova. That's an interesting thing. There's been quite a couple of things this year that advertised itself as okay. Probably the Wikipedia article said it was a reboot, but the advertising itself didn't do a good job indicating it as such.
What are you referring to?
I guess.
Well, not a reboot exactly, but the point is what they tried. The advertising didn't really indicate it very well.
What are you about to say, Pedro?
It's so sad how of all of these movies, okay. Aside from some remakes, because the Pete's Dragon remake is great,
and the Cinderella one.
Sure, and the remakes.
I haven't seen it. I just was like, wait, that actually happened.
Remakes aside, it's so sad that Mary Poppins
Oh, hey, Glenn Close.
You're saying, Pedro?
It's sad how remakes aside.
Really? That's a power cameo.
Yeah, well, I mean, Glenn Close is the devil herself.
Yeah.
Yes, Pedro?
Remakes aside, it's sad how Mary Poppins Returns is the better of these live action ventures. So you can't use the Cinderella and Pete's Dragon remakes and all that stuff.
Why not?
Like remake. Well, okay. Aside from the remakes, Jova, what other good live action ventures of these types Disney has made?
Mr. Magoo. No, I can't.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Christopher Robin. I'm gonna say that
Christopher Robin was fine.
Yeah, Christopher Robin was better than Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot that. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. I know I might be a bit controversial here, but I much prefer Christopher Robin over Hook.
Is that controversial?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
It is.
Yeah. People love Hook.
How are those two movies even related?
Yeah, what's even the connection?
they're both kind of cut from the same mold in a way. They're both about a kid who had a lot of wonderful adventures, but then they grew up into an adult and thus brushed the whole thing off as it was just kids' fantasy stuff I did when I was younger. But then they reunited with the older ones, and while not believing it at first, they eventually got back into the swing of things.
Let me put it this way. Hook has a great concept and ideas and everything. It's just that the execution is very flawed.
Also, what a shock! Everybody came wearing black and white.
Also, yeah, intention or not, I was not a fan of how they executed, Peter Banning being cynical at the start. That's not cynical. That's just being a douchebag.
Well, who said it was meant to be cynical? Maybe it was just meant to be a douchebag. Straight up.
Yes, but it doesn't mean I have to like how they did it.
Well, nobody was saying you were supposed to like him. In fact, if anything, you're supposed to not like him at that point. Because he has to get better.
Honestly, a lot of this mirrors the dinner scene in 102 Dalmatians.
Huh.
Is it 102 Dalmatians?
Yes, 102 Dalmatians. Which was a much better movie than this.
Well,
That movie was fun.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Pedro, even you had fun with 102 Dalmatians.
No. I'm with you there. I was just reacting to this.
So, wait till you see how we pull off our climax.
Oh, great. This... Okay, well, not counting credits, probably about 15 more minutes.
Also, see, this movie does have a score, unless this is from some pop song or something that I'm unaware of.
I don't know what happened. Did someone erase the music by credit on Wikipedia?
Maybe the director decided he didn't like the score?
No, Wikipedia made no mention of that.
Well,
is the score guy at least? Well, hopefully.
Maybe they lost the recordings, so they had to go without a score. I don't know.
Except again, we're listening to what sounds like a score right now. So
again, I don't. Okay, I'm just going to put it down to someone deleted the Wikipedia. Okay, I'm just going to put it down to someone took that bit out of the Wikipedia page for some reason.
It's all got to go right down to the needle.
What did she put in there? A truth serum?
Kind of like
she's haunting you.
She literally pricked her on her arse.
More like a back.
Hard to tell. With the way the dress rises up the Sierra section, it looked like the rear end.
Wait a minute. There's no... Whatever. This movie's stupid.
And now it's time to come back as Estella.
There's nobody with a towel in the bathroom. Okay. For those who don't know, typically especially in old British rich residences, there's typically an employee with a towel in the bathroom so that the guests can use it.
I think she went to one of the more private bathrooms, and look, just like last time, she stands over the cliff, ready to avenge her mother who fell over this very cliff.
It's good. If you want a care movie, you should have actually bothered to give the mom a character. Just saying.
But this is the mom.
Oh, right. The adoptive mom.
And don't you see, she's...
Not really?
She's... No.
Wait, you're telling me that the adopted mother, the maid, was given a character? Because I totally missed it.
No, I mean, she didn't need to have one. She just was like, oh, that was my mom.
But Deji, no, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. The whole reason Cruella is doing all of this is to avenge her adopted mother.
But wait,
that's the entire motivation.
But look, because of the time she spent with the Dalmatians, they've been able to train the dogs so that they won't kill Cruella.
the reason you empathize with Carl and Up is because you actually get to know his wife and why he cares so much for her wishes. Oh, great. Does that mean that's movie's over? Can we go now?
Is this Big Brother now?
You see, the key necklace unlocks the box which has her birth certificate, which proves that she is the rightful owner of the Baron's estate and fortune.
Yeah. Sorry, Emma. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Which Emma?
Get over the cliff.
Which Emma? Remember, it's Emma Stone versus Emma Thompson, guys.
The Baroness.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say, when did Anne Robinson show up here? Or in the current case of the American version, Jane Lynch.
Don't you see, Cruella? Don't you see, Cruella? It was a mistake that I disowned you. I think we can get past this mistake of me trying to murder you.
With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to
all of Britain.
This little domestic disputes.
Join me, Cruella, and we can rule the
fashion industry
as mother and daughter.
No.
Come on, all I've tried to do is kill you, darling. Can't you get over that?
Yes, and that first thing alone would probably ruin any chance of having a successful business relationship.
Do you think she's telling the truth or she's lying?
Sorry, hon. Lying, obviously. Sorry, hon. It's a bit too late to want to now suddenly play mom.
Like, you gotta love how she's doing this after trying to have the Dalmatians kill her literally seconds ago. Like, hey, lady, if you're so determined to have her be killed, why don't you push her off yourself at this point?
It's like Jarek in the Mortal Kombat 4 Jax ending, trying to say, "Oh no, I'm sorry," but then he just literally threw Sonya off the cliff.
You are a terrible liar, lady.
Sorry, Mom. This is not a brutality.
This
is a fatality.
Can I at least hug you? Again, just let her hug her.
This is what she wanted, for everyone to see the person,
What kind
to see Emma Thompson's character, what she really is, have her reputation ruined and everything.
What was even the point of making that character Anita to begin with? She does nothing.
You'll see. There's actually a point for Anita and Roger being in this movie, but that's for later. Aww.
Yeah, I don't care. I already know this is all fake, so who cares? Yeah, exactly. Well, you have a shit ton of witnesses.
Yeah. Oh, shit. No.
She jumped!
I fell into her. I hugged her too hard. I'm sorry.
Wait. I thought you just said she jumped, and now you say that she tried to drag her.
She tried to drag me with her as she jumped.
If you're gonna bullshit, at least be consistent about it.
But wait, hold on.
And now turns out.
Estella is dead.
The only way this movie can be saved is if now she gets revived as an evil vampire, and she.
I don't know. I like that the dogs are there.
And there's Cruella. But don't you see, now Estella's dead and only Cruella remains.
But how does she survive?
How nice of her to do that.
How lovely.
In a panther devil she showed up.
Excuse me, what's that little bit of what's that gravel doing on your face?
You get it? It's spelled. That's how we talk. Condescend our audience.
And how did she survive? What? She had a goddamn parachute on her in the dress.
Screw you, movie.
A well-cut skirt.
Yep, she made a parachute out of a dress.
That's...
She's that brilliant.
Whatever, it's almost over.
Oh, I can't wait to see your reaction to the after credits scenes.
Also, nah, that method is
It's
cool.
not
I don't care.
Well, I mean, she'll go to jail for even for attempted murder.
And
Oh
now
my
she'll be...
God.
Goodbye, Estella. And hello, Cruella.
A cruel devil, as they said in the trailer.
No, that was off edit.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
is
not
it?
actually dead.
Oh, okay.
It's like I'm going to become the Joker.
Yeah,
Ah.
like I said.
Do you now?
Now she owns the estate.
So what's she gonna call it? The DeVille estate?
Hell
No.
Hall!
I thought, you know what I thought she was gonna call it? I thought she was gonna call it DeVille.
Honestly, that would have been better.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that.
Yeah. Disney. If you call it that, I'll only ask for $5 million.
So, and here's the weird thing, in the end, she adopts the Dalmatians that killed her mother.
Ah.
They are the same ones.
I have a question, though.
Yes.
What?
How does this lead to her being in love with fur coats to the point of killing Dalmatians?
We're getting a sequel, apparently.
Ugh.
Have I mentioned that it kind of falls into the Pan area? Hey, for all the questions it's supposed to answer, it doesn't really answer a lot of them.
Well, I
No, it
mean,
doesn't really.
Well, I mean, at the very least.
Oh,
there's
but it
no-
turns out one of the Dalmatians is pregnant.
What?
Remember.
Sure.
Oh, is the after
Well-
credit sequence what I think it is?
Let's
Wait
throw
for
that
it,
in while we're-
Just wait, Shiroy. Just wait.
It is exactly what I think it is, isn't it?
I assassinate Mark Strong and become evil.
Why would you kill Mark Strong? He helped you.
But yeah, I need to be evil because that's my gimmick.
Now, don't tune off. There is an important mid-credit scene coming up, which is actually
Relative.
very, very important to the plot.
Not from what I've seen so far. The scene.
What are you talking about? She's terrible. Did you see how she treated Jasper and Horace before eventually admitting that they're her family and then went back to treating them fine?
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Emma Stone and Glenn Close for executive producers.
Glenn, how could you betray us like this? Why,
least-
Glenn?
At least she gave
Why?
us an amazing cameo.
But
Where she
still,
got arrested for being a fake Cruella Deville.
Glenn, why? Why did you betray us? Why?
Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, Pedro, she was in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think we can maybe forgive her a little bit on that.
I have the
Wait,
perfect
wait,
quote
wait,
to
wait,
explain
wait.
it. I have the perfect quote to
Glenn
explain
Close
it,
was in
actually.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Huh, who did she
Was she the
play?
head of Nova Corps?
Yep. Okay, that's okay, Liz. I have a good quote. That quote from Ghostbusters always works in these situations. If there's a hefty paycheck, I'll believe anything you say.
Okay, I am wondering now, knowing that there's a sequel in mind, if they're planning to save more of the intricacies for the sequel. You know, kind of like what Pan was trying to do, only, you know, failure. Basically, Dej, do you mind spoilers regarding Pan?
Well, I think we're about to get the scene actually.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's Roger.
Oh, it is what I think it is.
Roger plays piano now, just like in the original.
So he going to play the Cruella developed theme song?
Yes. But, well, okay, no. That's what he was humming. But Cruella leaves a little something for Roger and Anita. Dalmatians! Remember how one of the Dalmatians was pregnant?
Meet Pongo.
Meet Perdita. That's right! Cruella's the one who gave Anita and Roger Pongo and Perdita.
Yep, there it is.
So basically the film saying Cruella's gone on to unintentionally create her own problems.
Oh, look, and now he's doing the song.
No, he's
Wait.
supposed to call that song after he meets her.
I mean, he met her that one time, but still, I guess... Didn't he make that song because he hated her? What reason does he have to hate her? But get this, guys. Doesn't this mean that Pongo and Perdita are siblings?
Hey, look, if it's okay with Pokemon breeding, it's okay here.
Don't even worry about it.
But they're siblings, and they have puppies later.
I know Pokemon's family friendly too, but this is Disney. Incest should be the last thing they should be doing.
Yeah, considering how they were like, no, that one guy from The Lion King too, that is not Scar's son.
But
like
seriously though, so you're telling me that this seems to imply that Cruella is giving them the Dalmatians as part of a long-run plan to have the puppies that will make the coats, I guess? Otherwise, I have no idea why.
Also, Disney, we can't have gays, but you can have dog incest. Alright, whatever.
Sherry, what are you talking about? We can have gays, just not very well portrayed ones.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, so that guy's supposed to be openly gay according to Disney. Like,
as far as I'm concerned, this movie is this movie badly portrays humanity itself.
Question: what was the point of that guy being openly gay? Like, I mean, what did he do that is supposed to show that he's openly gay? That Disney were making such a big fuss about it.
Well, you see, Joe, but that's the thing. Again, I'm not being gay myself. I can't speak with 100% authenticity or anything. What I can tell, the lazy way to portray a gay person is just to have them just be flamboyant, and that's it.
That's the thing. He was just flamboyant. Like, look, isn't that kind of like, stereotypish?
Well, yeah, that's the 90s way to portray a gay person. That's terrible.
Okay, Shuri, as a gay person, how do you think the representation was?
They just made a camp guy, and he barely contributes to the movie, even though he actually appears more than I expected him to. It's a bit confusing.
Like, okay, here's the thing. For as much as we complain about LeFou, at least we saw LeFou dancing with another guy, so we got that he was gay. As far as this guy being openly gay meant, I guess it meant him acting camp as all hell. Holy cow.
I thought he was a drag queen at first, although he could very well still be one.
Maybe.
Okay.
Who wants to go first with their final thoughts?
Hey, Joe, you... Oh, wait. Dwibs, you...
Dwibs wants to go first.
Yeah, I did call Cruel dibs. That's rubbish.
Oh, God.
You tried. We're all tired.
Dwibs, now I have to throw you a tomato.
It fell into the sea because you live too far away from me.
The fact that his throw made it all the way from his house to the sea, though.
He still missed.
That's how amazing of a throw I have, Joe.
That's the Joe, you're pulling the same logic Shuri tried to pull on me when we lost the European final. At least we made it there. Wells didn't come close.
Yeah.
Lisbon is pretty close to the sea, though, so,
Maybe.
But anyway,
go on, Dwibs.
But anyway, back to this film. Okay, it's not the worst of these types of films of Disney that I've seen. I mean, there are, mainly because the film is just too baffling to be boring, really.
Yeah.
All the actors involved, to be fair to Craig Gillespie, aside from some dodgy CGI every so often, the direction was competent at the very least. there were no bits where, I don't know, the camera was off focus or anything. So there's that. Unfortunately, the film's just bogged down quite a lot of bad movies. The script. I know what you're gonna say. Should the bad script bog down all movies? And I'm like, you see, that's the thing, Sometimes the film can have a good script, but be hampered by other things. It's just the film. I mean, pulling something as daft as the inciting moment of it, pulling okay.
Dalmatians killed her mother. Yeah.
Yeah, Dalmatians killed the mom. Okay, that's a trend. It's like the filmmakers know how stupid that plot point is. It's like, shall I say, the Dalmatians killing Corella's mother, John Connor being killed for later on. Now let's all do it at the beginning. That will entice the viewers, surely.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to pissing them off and. Yeah. I mean, I'll give them credit. It's ballsy to do that, but as we've seen with the box office for Terminator, Dark Fate, and the reaction to this movie, it's also kind of boneheaded.
Part of me does wonder if this movie only really profited because of the amazingly overpriced nature of Disney Plus Premier access. Like,
I mean, it'd be like if we had a movie about the witch from Snow White, and it turns out within like the first minute, a poisoned apple killed the witch's parents, so she uses apples out of spite to kill everyone else.
Don't give Disney ideas.
You're not being stupid enough to it. Here's an idea. The reason she's jealous of Snow White's beauty is not because she's vain. It's because the fact that I get it. Snow White reminds her of someone who she hated as a child, and that means she wants to kill her or something.
I'll go even lower. When they actually know each other as kids, but Snow White was a bully and kept laughing at her for being ugly.
But that wouldn't make any sense because she's Snow White's...
When's that stop? When's that stop these movies?
Yeah.
Like, that would mean that she's the same age as her own adoptive daughter.
Again, Jova says, when's that stop these movies? Remember, the Dalmatians at the end here are technically siblings.
And knowing what Pongo and Perdita will go on to do, Sweet Home exactly. Alabama.
Again, like I said before, Disney, those plot points I mentioned earlier, if you put those in your movie, it would be stupid, and I meant it as a joke, but I want $100,000. I know it's a bit lower than $5 million, but they're not going to pay me $5 million for a script. What music there is, it's fine. And I do appreciate the songs you typically hear on the radio, but about it really in terms of sound. The time period's also a bit vague. I don't know whether it's 70s to 90s.
Supposedly, the main plot takes place in the 70s, supposedly.
But where's the brown?
The what now?
Brown, the 70s. I mean, what if there's one colour that's typically associated with the 70s, is that every object, at least every car at least, a lot of objects in the 70s were coloured brown for some reason. I have no idea why. Anything else I could mention?
Do you sympathize with Cruella? How did you feel about the numerous plot twists involving unraveling her backstory? What did you think of Mark Strong's role in all of this? Again, there's a lot.
I do appreciate Mark Strong's character, recognizing that, that hell, whatever she's called, is an evil bitch for wanting a baby to be killed.
Yeah.
But it's still not exactly sound logic. I mean, for the movie, anyway. What was that other question you mentioned?
What did you think of all the numerous twists that went into unraveling her backstory? Like, first it's just Dalmatians killed her mom. Then it's Dalmatians were trained to kill her mom. And then it turns out that her real mom was an evil hellman who trained the dogs to kill the foster mom, who came back to the house because she needed to pick something up, which then led to Cruella getting chased by the dogs, who then later chased the mother, and then drop-kicked her off a cliff in terrible CGI format.
Gee, Joe, when you start summing it up like that, you make the whole thing seem kind of stupid or something.
Anything else?
Nah, I've got a bit of a bad throat, so I don't want to speak any more than I have to. This one, Peter. So that's Cruella. Not as bad as some of the other live-action Disney reimaginings,
but still bad.
But it's not exactly one of the better ones either.
All right, Shiroi, would you like to go next?
Yeah, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, nor was it as ridiculous as I thought it would be, and the latter is kind of a shame because I was hoping, like I said, I wanted to see a movie about a crazy lady, and I didn't really get that. I got a story where we're being made to try to feel sorry for this woman for a lot of it, and then for another half of it, like, they're trying to make her this really hammy villain. It's like I'm getting mixed messages a little bit from this movie.
Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. For as terrible as it was, Maleficent felt more like it knew what it wanted to do. And don't get me wrong, what it wanted to do was terrible, but not nearly as confusing as this one, sure. Go on.
The plot twists are a bit ridiculous. Like, I'm not sure what they're going to do for the sequel. We know there's going to be one at this point.
Maybe they'll reveal that her father was alive and he was orchestrating her fall into descent because he himself became crazy when he found out that his wife wanted to kill a flipping baby.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to the father. Maybe they just got a divorce. Like, maybe he found out what she tried to do.
Oh, the movie just says that he died from grief. And that left his fortune to the Baroness until Cruella tinkered with the will, which...
I mean, movies do sometimes go back on statements like that, so... You know, that could be retconned in the sequel.
Oh god, imagine if they reveal that her adopted mother wasn't even dead all along.
Sure. Why?
I'm pretty sure she's dead, but anyway. Like, she has all the dogs now, so what's gonna happen with the dog murder?
Is she orchestrating it? Because she apparently gave Roger and Anita Pongo and Perdita, so...
I mean... I don't know. Like, I really don't know what this movie's trying to say, because this character is Cruella, but at the same time isn't. Like, I don't know what is happening here. And... honestly, not having a sequel already is just kind of frustrating because this movie left more questions than it answered.
It's the same problem with Pan. It feels like they were banking on it getting a sequel before they actually start answering the real questions.
But I am right in saying this is getting a sequel, right?
Yes, it's confirmed to be getting a sequel.
But as for the rest of the movie, I actually think, like, all the sets and the outfits are really good. Music is fine. Most of it is just licensed music. Like, as a movie, it's decent, but as a backstory for Cruella, you know, prolific puppy skinner, like, this isn't her movie. It should have been with a different character, like you guys said.
Yeah.
Again, like, the movie dragged. Like, if it was a lot more ridiculous, I think it would have been a much better time, even if it still wasn't a good origin story. But it is what it is, and it exists. It's fine, but yeah, it's fine as a movie, not as an origin. I'm done. See you guys.
Deji.
Have a good night, sure. Oh, okay, she left. Yeah, this certainly was an interesting movie. But it's pretty bad. Let's not sugarcoat things here.
It is bad. Like I said, it comes closer than Maleficent came to being a good movie, but it still falls flat on its face. Go on.
It's like, why should I care about what's going on?
Because Dalmatians killed Cruella's mother, Dej. Can't you get with the program?
Here again, like to emphasize, that's the reason why I don't care, Dej, because there was no establishment of the bond between Cruella and her adopted mother. As a result, you have no reason to care for the fact that this woman got killed.
Hell, if anything, the movie's more about Cruella's relationship with her actual mother. Yet that's supposed to be a bad thing.
That would have been better.
If we knew from the get-go that the Baroness was her mother.
Abusive mother that treated her like crap, and then in the end, she swears that she will become nothing like her. But the greatest irony is that she becomes just like her.
I feel like they were trying to go for something like that. The problem is that we were way too late that the Baroness is her real mother. You're right, though.
Oh, it should have just started off with the Baroness being her mother. Screw the other adopted mother that got pushed. Oh my god. Yeah,
I agree. Heck, we could have completely gotten rid of the whole thing and just had it be that the mother shipped her off, but then Mark Strong raised her in secret or something, and all that jazz and whatnot. But no.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours too long.
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, the casting is fine. I can't say anything bad about them, and like the production values is not offensive, or it didn't make me angry. It's just the writing, the plot. It's just, what were you trying to accomplish with this?
A girl boss, Joker, Harley Quinn story about Cruella de Vil.
This doesn't feel like Joker. This is just a supervillain.
Okay.
But it's like, are we even meant to sympathize? Because I didn't get it.
Okay. Let me rephrase. It's a poor man's Joker. Like, again, it copies the basic formula of Joker. Woman goes mad from how society and now even her mother treated her, because remember the opening about how society treated her as a monster because of her black and white hair. And now that I think about it, that's actually one of the lesser problems of this movie, despite how dumb that was out of the starting gate. Go on, Dutch.
That certainly was. Maybe Disney should stop doing this with their IPs.
You think?
I really
just
do.
Continue making original stuff. Like Luca was good. I don't know. Maybe make a sequel to Zootopia.
Actually, remember we have a Zootopia Plus, which is the Disney Plus series that's gonna come.
Okay, wait. They're literally calling it Zootopia Plus.
I just want to clarify. I am not saying live action bad. I just want them to make good live action movies.
Absolutely.
Sure. I know it's hypocritical for me to complain about that they're doing a live action adaptation of something. It's like, yeah, there was those 101 Dalmatian movies that got but I haven't seen them in like
to answer
20 years.
To answer your question, Jova, yes. When Jennifer Lee started greenlighting Disney Plus shows, one of them is Zootopia Plus, which is apparently going to build off from various other aspects of the city that we didn't see that much in the movie.
What an interesting name to call it, Zootopia Plus.
My guess is they wanted to really emphasize that it's a Disney Plus show. I don't know.
Well, if any luck, it should still be good. Unlike this movie.
I am confident it will. I'm confident it will be.
Anything else, Dej?
Just stop.
I'm also looking forward to the Tiana show.
Okay.
This was a mess of a movie.
Okay, so here's the basic gist of it. Like I said before, the reason nothing in the plot works is because we have no reason to side with Cruella, because we don't really feel what she feels. She feels betrayed and sad because her mother was killed by this evil woman. But since we don't know anything about her adopted mom, we have no reason to care. We can properly sympathize or even empathize with her, because we have no grounds to really feel what she feels. That's the reason why this entire movie falls flat on its face. Coupled with the fact the incredibly stupid, silly idea for a premise, the incredibly boring characters, the incredibly stupid plot, the questionable things the movie does with gay characters and dog incest. This movie is a complete train wreck that doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be, and that's the big reason why. Also, and like here's some considerations that he said about what they should have done. Here's how I would have done a Cruella movie. I would have made it a dark comedy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like seriously, just have us watch her become Cruella and have her go fucking insane and just do incredibly. In fact, I wouldn't even have her turn into a tragic figure at all. I would have her be evil from the beginning.
Like, you know, that's the frustrating thing. For a good portion of this movie, that is sort of what they were doing. The problem is that it's weighed down by the fact that at the end of the day, the movie wants you to be rooting for her, and not in like a case of, as the protagonist, no, in the sense that, no, it legit wants you to sympathize with her. It's like an Olympic runner who's constantly weighed down by an anchor or something. There's good potential, but the bad stuff weighs it down too much. Go on.
Mary Poppins Returns is much better than this, but that doesn't mean I still have to like that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess at least Mary Poppins Returns tried to continue the theme of its original source material.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I'm being a bit harsh. Like, Mary Poppins Returns is not exactly a bad movie. It's just a rehash of the original movie, and that's it. And it's not even a particularly terrible rehash. It's just a very mediocre one. Like, whatever. The point is, this movie sucks major ass, and I never want to see it ever again because this movie.
Wow. Like, even Maleficent didn't get you this mad.
It's because this movie. Okay, let me put it this way, Jova. This Maleficent had a basic idea of how it wanted us to sympathize with Maleficent by making her a tragic figure. In here, they completely butt-fucked that in the idea by having her entire... they don't get us to know her as a child that much. We don't get to know her mother. And, of course, the way her mother died is so completely stupid that it completely kills whatever goodwill this movie could have had.
That Dalmatian seriously woke up that night and said, "I'ma drop-kick you off a cliff." Like, again, not even biting the mother. He just drop-kicked her off a cliff. And mind you, this is in the same movie where Cruella shows that all her mother needed was just to make a parachute out of a dress in order to survive.
So yeah, this movie is terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go there. Yeah. This is the worst.
Wow.
This is the worst because okay. Maleficent, like I said, terrible. Maleficent was terrible, but it had a better idea of what it wanted to do. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, at the very least, had that incredibly batshit insane climax that was a lot of fun. That's more than I can say for this movie. And
so you consider this even worse than Dumbo 2019?
Yeah. Because at the very least in Dumbo 2019, there was Dumbo, which was an excellent special effect.
True.
The special effects in this movie aren't even good.
And I guess to be fair, Dumbo did give a relatively good adaptation of the original movie. It's just that it added on so much to it.
The point is, this movie is definitely the worst of these so far. The worst. Oh my god. Ugh. Close this down, Joe, because I need to lie down.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that somebody thought that Dalmatians killing Cruella's mother would be a good start to it. Like, it's like, oh guys, the thing that she's famous for. Let's insert that into her past, and that's immediately genius. Like, for instance sake, this would pretty much be the equivalent of saying Bruce was destined to hate clowns because a clown accidentally killed his parents with with a ball.
Okay, wait. Actually, it's funny you say that, but for some reason they always have this obsession that, why does Batman not like this particular brand of music? It's because it reminds me, because I listened to it the day before my parents died, or around the same time.
True. However,
so it's like no, they're not above doing something stupid with Batman.
Okay, maybe that wasn't the best example, but okay, better idea. This is like if per se we inserted goblins into how Peter's Uncle Ben died all of a sudden. Like, just no. What are you doing? Like, seriously, get your crap together. Like, this is the kind of script that really makes me feel like an annoyed parent watching my child just careen off with their life. 'Cause seriously, this is what genius writing has brought us to, folks. A woman who's later gonna become pretty much Britain's version of the Joker because Dalmatians killed her mother by pushing her off a cliff. No matter how many times we've repeated that, it doesn't sound any smarter. In fact, if anything, it sounds dumber the more I repeat it.
Hey, Joe, don't you love the fact that they said her name is Devil, and it's like, it's spelled like devil. It's like, wow. Wait to spell it out for your audience. It's not like we didn't catch that first.
Like, yeah, that's a problem of this movie. Even when stuff is so blatant, they have the characters literally spell it out for us, and it's just so annoying. Like, okay.
Wait, is this the worst movie we've seen all year?
Okay, we have to ask the big question. Is this a worse movie than Freddy Got Fingered?
Well, that didn't come out.
Okay, that's like that's not a movie. That's just that doesn't count.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, no, I'm gonna have to say it. No, I find this more frustrating than Space Jam 2. Definitely. Ugh.
Oh, you know what? I see exactly where you're coming. Like, even
Space Jam 2 is fun.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna agree with Dej. I can at least have fun with Space Jam 2. The problem with this movie is that it's so frustrating. Because, again, there is the semblance of a good movie when Cruella's just being insane and evil. But no, we gotta weigh it down with the whole, oh, she's really a good guy. She sees Jasper and Horace as her family. Look at how nice she is. She's adopting the Dalmatians that may or may not have killed her mother, to the point where she's giving Roger and Anita Pongo and Perdita.
Sorry, Deji, but I'm with Chuck Jones on this. Space Jam both Space Jam movies don't really portray the Looney Tunes properly.
Wait. Chuck Jones was alive when Space Jam was made?
Yes, the first one. Well, remember, Chuck Jones only died in the early 2000s, Joe.
God, that's right. Oh, it feels longer ago. But regardless, I would still argue that the Space Jam movies are a better movie than this. Like,
no, I just said, yeah, I agree.
Right. Anyway, though, but this movie, like Shuri mentioned, it's so confusing with what it wants to be. A revenge story, a heist story, a terrible snuff film, again, Death by Dalmatians may be one of the silliest deaths I have ever seen. Oh my god, guys. Cruella. Don't you see? Going off of this semblance here, doesn't this mean that by Last of Us 2 standards, Cruella's terrible for wanting to murder dogs because dogs killed her mother and all that? I can just imagine pitting Cruella de Vil against Last of Us 2 in terms of morality here and there. And then defenders of each film would have quite the field day trying to defend it against each other.
The hell is defending Cruella? I know people who defend a lot of stupid.
There's actually people defending this bloody thing?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yes.
Jova.
Oh yeah, there are people who defend this movie as great, or people who say, oh, don't you see, it's not that bad because she doesn't blame the dogs in the end. So it's not like she swore vengeance on dogs because her mother died. Like, no. People have come to this movie's defense, and in not the best ways. Look. I mean, again, some people must be defending it for it to have made enough money to get a sequel. Again, either that or it's Disney trying to hide the fact that it didn't do as well with the whole Disney Plus stuff. But yes, I have seen some defenses of the movie, yes, here and there. I don't agree with them, obviously. So, This film, okay, look. The acting is great. The directing is pretty good from what I see. I like the set design and the effects, except for the CGI Dalmatian bits, but yeah, again, it's one of those sad moments where a film is otherwise great and everything, except where it matters deeply. The writing. Like, holy cow, this writing is some of the worst I've seen in a movie. And not just because of the inconsistent tone, but just, again, when characters literally spell out stuff that we saw before, and it's not like they're even, like, with somebody. Like, again, that part where Cruella has to recap her entire backstory now that she's gotten it all. There's no one else to tell it to. And you know what? She says it again to Jasper and Horse after she busts them out, so what was even the point? Also, the movie can't seem to decide whether or not Cruella's gonna grow up hating dogs or if she loves them, because throughout the movie, she has her own dog called Buddy, so yeah, what the hell is this movie trying to tell me? Or what? Are they gonna have it that Dalmatians kill Buddy in the sequel or something? And yeah, that's a good question that was asked. Where do you even go with a sequel? I mean, assuming it's not going to just be, a remake of the original 101 Dalmatians, like, what's there really left to do? I guess establish why she hates dogs and that? Well, okay, maybe she doesn't grow up to hate dogs, but I guess explain why she would make fur coats out of them. But again, I really am wondering what more there's left to do. I mean, if it's something as insane as Maleficent, the mistress of all evil... I don't know. I just don't know. This movie drives me up a wall. And yes, it is way, way too long. Unless you're really invested in this movie, you're gonna be exhausted. Heck, even if you are invested, you'll probably be exhausted. It's not like the movie's boring. It's just crazy, but not in a good way. Again, what makes it frustrating is that it could have been good, and for a good portion of the movie, you do see portions of it that hint at it being good. But at the end of the day, it's a movie about a woman whose adopted mother, was killed by being drop-kicked off a cliff by Dalmatians, trained by her actual biological mother, who's apparently so cold-hearted and evil that she ordered the baby killed the minute it was born, instead of just discussing things with her husband, who I guess died out of grief, and Bob's your uncle.
Please stop describing the plot of the movie. You're gonna give me a headache.
How bad?
No way. I know a worse movie that we saw this year.
What?
But I'll say
okay. That's all
Wait.
Huh?
I didn't hear it. Which one was it?
I know what we saw. A worse movie we saw, but I'll say it off mic.
Sure.
Oh, now the audience are going to be in such suspense, I wonder. Whatever. That's all for tonight, folks. That is all for tonight.
See ya.
Bye.
So which is it, Dej?
Legend of Thunder.
Oh, right.
Consider you what we saw 3 times in a row.
Is this really...
And it drove you to drink.